All right, welcome to our. This is actually our first actual play of Cyberpunk Red. I'm Scott's Case Files, and above me you see my players, the stars of the show. So let's just do a quick intro of them. Let's start over here with Brian.
I know you've missed me all, and I've missed you. Mwah.
Yeah,
Hi,
but
everyone.
your aim is improving.
And with the bad puns and dad jokes, we have Jason.
Hi, my name's Jason, but my friends call me Jason. I'm a they them kind of human, and I've been around this rodeo with Brian before. He's not to be trusted.
Yeah, to say the least. And next we have Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. Played a lot with Scott before and Aaron, but Brian and Jason are new to me, so play to find out.
yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
All right, Brian, truce times, me and you against the new people. Can't trust them.
Last but not least, we got Aaron.
I'm Aaron. Played with a couple of different things that Scott's got going on, and a one-shot with Jason and Brian. Is it?
Brian.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, and the night. What was the Urban Shadows? That's what Steve and I played together.
Yep. Good times. That's quite. And of course, second edition is coming out next year, so there will be a return to new media out there. So be ready for that. Psych yourself up. You have a year. Cool. All right,
Okay.
so let's do this thing. So yeah, Cyberpunk Red. So what I had in mind to start off with is I'm going to set up a scene, and I'm going to kind of have each of you guys kind of do you. To kind of introduce their characters. I want to get to know your characters. They're all very unique and different and interesting, and they have their own things going. So I kind of want to take some time to meet them. So your last foray into you were kind of like on the outskirts of the hot zone. So if like a quick intro to Night City is kind of a large metropolis. It was made to be like this perfect place and just never became that way. It was, founded by corporations, and by corporations, I mean capital C. So like, basically their own nations and laws unto themselves. It was founded like that. Then it basically, got taken over, by the mob. And then from the mob, it was to street gangs, and the street gangs eventually gave way yet again to the corpse. I think it was 20 years ago, there was a nuclear bomb set off in the center of Night City. Like a pocket nuke, they called it. It's just a small nuke. There's no such thing as just a small in the case of nukes, but here we are. And it basically obliterated everything in the center, leaving other stuff around it somewhat radioactive still. They basically dredged up a lot of the radioactive material and put it into landfill elsewhere. So my assumption is you guys have, here and there go into the hot zone, which is that livable, still slightly radioactive, but somewhat survivable area if you don't stay there for a long time, right outside of the blast zone, where there's a lot to be found. A lot of stuff is left behind by dead people or people running to get the hell out, and it takes some industrious and people willing to, push it to the edge, which is what Cyberpunk is all about, and that's you guys. So I'm gonna say you just got back the night before from a run to the red zone. It was good news, bad news. Bad news, the guy who you had as your med tech, this guy named Dixon, he got killed. There were some fellow scavengers out there, not professionals like you, but basically people scavenging to just get food, type of scavengers, and you got in their way and they got in your way. Dixon was killed. He was like, he grew up, he was a med tech, and he got that way because he was basically in a booster gang as he grew up, and he was the guy that was in charge of bringing people back from drug overdoses. And he turns out he was really, really good at it. And there was a lot of drug overdoses because it's a freaking booster gang. And there you are. But yeah, so Dixon, good guy, not wired so tight, if you know what I mean. Frayed around the edges. You know, the wheels spinning, but the hamster's dead type of guy. But he was reliable. And now he's reliably dead. But you each made, when all was said and done, you made your payouts and everything. Each took, you can put another €100 each into your pockets.
Hardly enough to pay for the expenses.
Well, that's after the expenses are paid. When all is said and done, you made €100 each. I'll let you guys decide what it was that you recovered that kind of that was your score. But what I kind of want to get a glimpse into is everyone's kind of, you've just finished a job, you're recuperating life, you know, that night that you just got in that night. It's like midday right now, noon, 1 o'clock. What have you guys been doing in that time? Like, what does your downtime look like? What is your, you know, if you felt anything at all for Dixon, what does your morning look like? Mourinning. What does it look like when you're, you know, you say goodbye to somebody, that kind of thing. So I just kind of want to get a glimpse into that downtime before we get into the hardcore uptime and how you guys work as a team. So let's see. I know. And again, as usual in these games, I'm going to call you by your character name for the most part, unless I'm specifically trying to make a comment about you or to you as a player. So here we go. So yeah, so let's. I know Knock Knock is always up for spur of the moment. You know, quick thought out, ad libbed or mad libbed type of situation. So what is Knock Knock's life? Knock Knock. They just get home from, you know, whatever you call home, probably a cargo container, unless you kind of bumped up your lifestyle. What does that all look like?
So Knock Knock has adapted an abandoned nightclub as their home. So it's always a bumping party. There's people always partying. But then you go downstairs, it's a long, dark, black hallway that leads to Knock Knock's bedroom. And all Knock Knock's bedroom is just a room glittered with doorknobs. There's doorknobs surrounding everywhere. And right in the middle is a box with a hologram radio next to it. So it's about noon, and the radio pops up, and it's dude with a hologram, and it's like, yo, crazy. And it's good morning, everyone, on the greatest oldie station. We're going to hit you with the greatest hits from back in the day. And Mamma Mia starts playing, and the trunk opens up, and Knock Knock slowly starts pulling themselves out of the box. Looks around, and just, "Aww, I want to kill Dixon someday. Oh well. And Knock Knock just jumps up and just starts going to get dressed and just thinking, what do they want to wear today? Just looking at all their outfits and says, I'll go with this. Grabs their usual mesh tank top. It's splattered with blood, but everyone thinks it's a fashion statement. Knock Knock puts on their knee-high boots, the little spankies, and gonna head out for the day. Now, Knock Knock's still a little upset because Mac yelled at them because Knock Knock stole their car and was drag racing. But Knock Knock's idea of drag racing is hanging on the hood and using the cyber snake to steer.
Oh Jesus! It's terrifying.
And
That's a terrifying.
So what Knock Knock does is throw a brick on the accelerator and just stand on the hood.
Oh my God,
Mac! That is not even what Mac is pissed with Knock Knock for this time. It's happened more than once. I'm kind of used to it now.
All right, are we jumping to Mac? Right? Should we jump to Mac? Is that a good segue?
Yeah, because Knock Knock's actually going to be heading to Mac.
All right, Mac, go for it.
Oh, you're heading to Mac. Okay. So, I've got the car in one of the family's workshops, and I'm doing basic repairs on that, patching up a few bullet holes, buffing out scuff paint, you know, all the basic thing, working on the alignment, getting that bend out of the axle. And the thing I'm working on when Knock Knock finally arrives is I'm trying to reattach the rear driver's side door to the body of the car, which is off for some reason. And it's Knock Knock then turn and look and like, how many times we told you the doors stay on the car? I don't want to hear any fucking bullshit about it was in the way of your aim and it just had to move a little bit. Do you want to be putting this damn door back on the car?
You know I can't shoot good with the door in the way.
Have you ever tried a fucking window?
What kind of car is this, by the way? Have we gotten an overall description of your car?
Oh,
Your moto?
jeez. It's ultimately what would be described as a compact SUV. So it's not like, you know, super tall. I mean, it's, you know, taller than like a compact car or a coupe, but not much. It has, you know, a fairly slick front, kind of a boxy rear end. So it can carry a decent amount of stuff, but it's still ultimately a fairly compact vehicle.
Okay.
Definitely seats 4 because I have to carry around this bozo.
No, he's not a member of the Bozos.
Knock Knock is very sympathetic. So when Knock Knock realizes, like, and remembers exact why they raced over here, reaches in their back and pulls out a door knocker. And go, you remember the mean guy that was so mean to us? Well, here. And hands you the door knocker. He won't bother us anymore.
Jesus.
I'm gonna take the knocker, look at it, sigh, and then I'm gonna go and attach it to the back of the driver's seat so it's right in front of Knock Knock when they're getting a ride.
Knock Knock's now looking for somewhere to sit. Has a big old lollipop in their mouth, like one of those big carnival lollipops.
Knock Knock, get over here and lift this. I need you to hold this while I get it into place. If you aren't going to help me, I'm not going to let you ride on the outside of the car anymore.
The cyber snake is next to you and it's helping lift it up.
Oh, Jesus. That's the most
Knock Knock's
terrifying
just
decision.
Knock Knock's like jaw is so Knock Knock can actually dislocate their jaw and will, so it's just popped out of socket, but you see them still licking the lollipop and the cyber snake's coming out.
Oh, God, that's one of my nightmares.
And then, like, it reverberates through the cyber snake, so then the cyber snake has a little mouth, but it's not like a snake mouth, it's just a human mouth with very sharp teeth, so it's terrifying. It looks at you and goes, "Hey, I'll help you out, buddy."
Oh, God.
I am going to smack the cyber snake and say, "That's creepy. I told you not to do that."
And Knock Knock skips over to help you out now.
Was that so hard?
Are you guys all scheduled to meet today, by the way? Are you meeting back up after your ordeal?
So I would imagine we probably took some bruising, right? If we lost one of our members.
Yeah, you're probably, you know, I'm not going to charge you any actual HP or anything, but yeah, you're probably, you know, recovering and that kind of thing. So let's go with, so once Mac gets finished, I'm assuming he's going to pick up maybe Arizona or Hugh, or do you guys meet somewhere?
Well, from Hugh's perspective, after something like that, first he would, want to get a medical check, with the corporation, with FYYL, He's got
What does
a
that stand for again? Your
contract.
network?
FYYL.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're lying. Yeah. FYYL network. So yeah, FYYL would expect Hugh to get a medical check. Got to report, anytime that he has any kind of bodily injury, bruising, whatever. So that has to happen, and then I think Hugh after Hugh thinks about like what is the story here that I can pull out of this. And what was this guy's name again?
Dixon?
Dixon. So, maybe it's a compassion piece, something about, lost member of friends and family. He's going to be looking for leads and probably going to need a ride soon to go talk to people. If the story maintains enough, momentum, then that would be the next thing he does. If something bigger pops up suddenly, then obviously this one can go on the back burner.
Cool. All right. Cool. So how about Arizona Smith?
He's in his cargo container, which is also doubles as a shop. There's literally junk on every surface except for this narrow spot where it looks like he lays down at the end of the night. Circuit boards, wires, parts of guns, parts of vehicles, you name it, it's in here. I think at the moment he's, agent. Those patch cables in?
And you hear the bleep and so your agent does it does it scan for you, like if it's sitting over on the desk, does it do a laser pointer scan, where should I direct the sound type of thing, or is it just kind of?
I think it just knows.
I
think it usually has kind of a C3PO type voice going on.
Oh man,
kind of. Well, I mean,
and now I got to do a C3PO voice. Oh my god,
you don't have to. No, but, that's just what it's.
That's the fic
coded to do.
Fair enough. Oh, maybe you should expand on why that's actually significant or notable.
Oh, because Arizona Smith is a member of the Ford's Poser Gang. So they're about all things Harrison Ford, as opposed to the car. So normally he's wearing a getup that's more or less Indiana Jones cosplay. Although he equally dabbles in the Han Solo, but he tends to prefer the older material.
Is he actually body sculpted at all yet, or has he gotten that high up in the gang to get that?
He has the head, he has the clothes, but and you can also see an old fedora that looks pretty actual leather in the background. It's the only thing that doesn't have stuff on it. But he's still saving up for the body sculpting, the voice sculpting, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Now in the gang, do you have to earn your way up? Can only the highest members actually look like Harrison Ford?
I think it's definitely a status if you do, because that means you've also gotten the money and the credit to pay for it.
Do you have to start
walk the walk?
Do you have to be in Indiana and then graduate to a solo?
Ooh,
no.
Interesting question.
Although I think the current leader might be a Deckard, so.
Oh, good, nice one. Awesome. So, your agent kind of bleeps at you. My guess, the shipment has come in. The first was hijacked, but you had insurance, so the second is now kicked in. Pick it up at the shop.
Excellent. Send a e-card to Dixon's wife. With our regrets. Nothing fancy. I think one real flower should do.
Real flower, €40. Should I actually include that?
Yeah, he definitely will. And order me, another 4 units of kibble.
the premium kibble with the beef flavoring.
Does it really matter?
No,
It's
ordering.
just fuel. Meanwhile, he's working on his arm, his cyber arm, which is his right arm. Looks like it, had a bullet hole, graze it. So it's just, some scoring, and, you can see the flesh, or the fake flesh that's on top of it. Just kind of, and he's kind of crudely stitching it together. He's not really a big cyberware guy, at least in terms of, making sure it's all shiny and chrome or anything. It definitely has just like the, generic real skin coating on it.
Yeah, you can actually like, stitch it up, then use the iron on it, and like it melts kind of around there.
Use
it. So, all right, awesome. So, Hugh, I kind of cut you off a little bit before. So, like, yeah, you're at the clinic getting your checked over. You've probably been injected a couple times. I'm going to assume, again, I'm making some assumptions, so please tell me if I'm wrong. But like, one of the great scavenging areas is the hot zone. So likely you're all on a routine medical inoculation schedule for like anti-radiation type stuff. Like once or twice a month, you got to get this injection that makes you kind of sick for a night, and that kind of thing to keep you from like. I mean, you can't have children. None of you. It would be a really horrible idea. They'd be deformed monstrosities that you're so, you're so irradiated to the point of that. But you live a decently long life as long as you don't get shot in the face. But yeah, so Hugh's probably getting like the next level up from that, so it doesn't quite make him sick, because even if you had puffy eyes, it would kind of throw off the camera, and we don't want to do that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the doctor, the corp doc is this just compassionless, no bedside manner dude, and he's like, so I suppose what I just need to tell you, and then he turns to his other side, and it's completely like a feminine side. Straight down the middle, and she's like, you really need to watch yourself. We can only give you issue you one armor jack every other month if you need it, but otherwise you're on your own. So but everything's up to schedule, so why don't you get out of here? I have other people to see, people with higher ratings.
Yeah, and Hugh, while certainly appreciates this doctor, way too busy watching every little thing on the monitor TV behind her, scrolling by like, what's the next bit? What's the next bit? What's the next bit? And so he breaks away from that. Yes, thank you very much. Can I have my coat?
She as they turn, he hands you the coat, and kind of just shushes you on your way.
As he walks out and passes a mirror, he's got to check his look, make sure his eyes haven't actually been, damaged in any way. Of course they would have covered it, but he's a real stickler for aesthetics, and he hasn't had these cyber eyes for that long, so he's a little bit nervous about them still. And just have to check, make sure, probably have to get different shirt, or at least get this one ironed. So next step is the company locker room, and then hopefully we can get a pack of kibble, and definitely have to contact is it Max? Who's the driver?
Mac.
Jason?
Mac.
Yeah, definitely have to contact Mac. So I would imagine we've got, like, do you have a radio communicator, Mac?
Yes, actually, I do.
I'm sure y'all probably have agents. Again, as you kind of saw with Arizona's scene, kind of like the futuristic smartphone with that quasi AI Alexa-ish creature built into it. That's pretty standard.
I am gonna have to put in for a new agent. I did lose mine in the fight or in the escape. So
did you throw it at the person or something, or?
No, it just I took a bad fall and luckily it took all the brunt of it. So
Well, luckily I believe they are $100. So
100 euros.
euro.
Yeah, they'll deduct
But
it.
you just got paid.
They'll deduct it from your next payout.
yeah, so I guess I'll subtract that freshly added.
Oh, the freshly added 100.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, so check in, which is a check in for equipment is more like a vending machine in the hallway for this type of thing. Scan for it, get my new agent, pick it up, talk, flip in Mac's number or ID and see what he's up to. But just async, just send him a message.
Yeah, like a
I'm looking for a ride. Yeah, looking for a ride. So if you can stop by the studio, I should have my shirt pressed by the time you get here.
All right. How's Mac responding?
You got something interesting to do this time?
I don't know yet. Dixon has a wife. I'd like to see if we can stop by maybe, but I'm still looking for something hotter.
You're just looking for something. Oh, okay.
I know. Value is everything. I get it.
Cool.
Yeah. Fine, sure. I'll swing on by.
All right. Are you taking Knock Knock with you?
Sure.
Knock Knock demanded to go. They're already in the back seat, and from our last job, they found like an old, decrepit Archie comic. So they're just laying in the back seat with their legs sticking out of the window, just reading Archie.
Oh God, terrifying all around. All right, so let's get Arizona in on this. Arizona. I'm going to say that the shop, if you're going to pick anything up for it, is literally down the street from the network. So I'm not sure if, as a team, do you guys would you ping each other like, oh, we're within proximity, type of thing? Do you care? Are you that close? What's your team like?
I trust these three guys, big time. So anytime I'm awake, they know I'm moving.
And I think Arizona's pretty much the same. He's not one for secrets, so you guys would have his, name on your HUD somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So yeah, I'll say that when Mac and Knock Knock do kind of cruise by, you get a kind of a triple ping that you're all kind of in the area. So while we're
and say, you guys heading to Dixon's?
Yeah, you all get that on your agent.
Do you remember his wife's name?
Like agent?
You put this all. You give zero shits. You just put all the personal information in the agent. Yeah.
I remember Dixon's wife's name.
Yeah.
You people are horrible. You people are horrible. His wife's obviously named Hillary.
Hillary it is.
Well, Hillary should be getting a card and a flower any minute now. It'd be nice if we showed up with it.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
Okay, so let's. I'm gonna cut to our intro video. So I want to make sure we get that in. That's pretty funny, fun times. So let's do that real quick, and we'll be right back. we're back. Yes, I'm sure. Arizona does. All right, so we'll start off. Everybody's kind of communed at Dixon's wife's place, and it's not a pretty place. It looks like it's actually in like what would have been, as they're kind of putting out these cargo containers. It was probably an empty lot. Because right now it's like there's a building on either side. There's a bunch of cargo containers, and they're kind of around a circumference of it. They make their own circle. Kind of fanned out with like just little space in between each other. And there's like another circle around that, and then in the middle there's like some kind of communal place where you see like a board for flyers, looking for this person missing, stuff like that, etc., etc. And so nobody ever put like plants back on the ground, so it's just all mud. The cargo containers themselves are still sinking, so like it's almost a step up at this point. They're being drowned in their weight. You get there now. She does have the entrance to her home. Does have a view straight to the center. It's like on the innermost ring. When you guys kind of come in, you're kind of walking through a bunch of muck. It's not pretty. It's totally messed up, your shoes, your boots, whatever you're wearing. It's like, oh, do I really need to see the wife?
That'll come with the job. That's okay.
Your clothes are probably all made to like have like muck run off them. So like if you fell straight into a puddle of mud, you could probably stand back up and it'd be like just fine. But yeah, you get up there and I'm assuming they're actually, she's receiving a delivery from a flower drone, and it's what kind of flower did you spring for, Arizona?
It would have been a carnation.
A carnation. So yeah, it's like a real carnation. So whoever, as you guys see this, that Arizona spent some cash. It's unlike the low end of the color spectrum. Like it's, nobody wants like a I don't know, a green one. It's green. It's just green. But anyway, so yeah, she's just kind of picking that from the drone. She has like a cyber arm, and it's a medical replacement. In Cyberpunk Red, the idea is like if you actually lose a limb, from an accident or whatever, you can get a medical replacement that's solely medical, that just replaces what you had. And it costs no humanity, but it's just an arm. It's nothing special, and it doesn't look like anything special. It's like a plastic shell. You can tell it's that. And she's like grimy. This is not a clean place. There's not running water. There's an outhouse somewhere around here. And it's probably that way if you're smelling right. But her shirt's, kind of dirtied up. It looks like she has her own little shop in the back where maybe she repairs stuff, just like Arizona. Or not like Arizona, but, similar. But yeah, she kind of looks ratted up. And in the one hand, she's holding the flower. In the other hand, she has a baby. And she's breastfeeding the baby, like literally as you're standing there. And she kind of looks at you guys as you approach.
Arizona will take his hat off, and he's like, "We did what we could."
She kind of looks at all four of you, and kind of gets a different grip on the baby as it's feeding. And she's like, "I knew he was gonna die like that sometime. You can't just go out in the wilds like you do and just, come back with just a scrape here and there. It was inevitable. I told him that. I mean, at least he wasn't selling anymore, so."
He was a hero, Hillary. He was a real hero. One of the few.
Yeah.
He saved a lot of souls.
Yeah. You gonna put his face on the news for him? Many people remember him?
Well, I did bring my camera, but I guess I kind of wanted to check in with you first and see how are things going. Like, how can we help?
Well, we're short some euro, but I took up a collection here, and the community's helping me out for now. But you know, my baby Riker here is, he's healthy. I'm gonna I can't feed him anymore. I'm gonna have to give him up. I'm gonna have to sell him. If you can find me some upright corporates that are, can, pay me, feed him well, make sure he gets his Knox, his vaccines, so he lives to a nice age, doesn't get his face blown off or find himself face down and smash puke. That'd be great. I don't have those kind of contacts, but Riker's healthy. He's a good kid.
He deserves a good life.
Yeah. So if you want to help me find a place to get rid of my baby. I can't. we're both going to
die. Are we inside there right now? Inside the room?
No, I'm going to say you guys are kind of still outside. You're on the stoop, if such a thing exists here.
Oh, well, while they're talking, Knock Knock's going past them because that was the total bullshit that she said that Dixon wasn't dealing. Dixon was Knock Knock's private dealer. And Knock Knock is going in there to find that fucking stash.
Oh my god. Yeah, she kind of gives you the look like, what the hell are you doing? But she also knows Knock Knock, and like, there's literally nothing she could do. Literally nothing she could do. And I get the impression that maybe, you guys have probably hung out with her on occasion, celebrating a score, but you don't know her too well. So like you can kind of see that look in her face that she's not sure, like, if she'd even tried anything on Knock Knock, if you guys would back him or her.
Plus, Knock Knock is the only one that can hold Baby Riker and have Baby Riker cry their head off, right? So they really get along.
Knock Knock took the baby away from her and the baby's on top of Knock Knock's head, playing with Knock Knock.
Well, now her bare breast is in the wind for a second before she realizes what's going on. She, modestly covers herself and just kind of shakes her head. She kind of looks in and then looks back at you guys like, what are you going to do?
Well, if it's okay with you, I'd like to just capture a little bit more about what you've had to say, and maybe we can help find a good home for Riker. And with
kind of turn around. He's not going to steal anything, is he? I can't. I need what I got.
Found it.
And he will definitely pay for that, won't you?
Knock Knock's coming out with a medical bag. Knock Knock comes out with a little medical bag.
This is just on loan, right?
Oh, this is mine. This belongs to me. It's mine now.
And Knock Knock's holding little baby Riker and goes,
"You could always do like how I was and just throw him in the city."
No.
And he can turn up just like me.
She kind of gingerly takes... Yeah.
And Knock Knock's just like,
"No, it's mine."
Yeah, she's gonna softly but then harshly, if she needs to, take Riker back.
Oh no! Knock Knock gingerly gave the baby back.
Like
a very easy give. Like,
what's that?
Here's your baby.
Those drugs you've been getting from Dixon.
You see the look of defeat on her face.
Like, pear.
Knock Knock.
Knock Knock reaches in their pocket and pulls out a lollipop.
Here you go.
And just walks away.
Oh my god!
I am going to grab him by his collar, drag him back. Knock Knock. Knock Knock. Give me the cash.
Dixon owed it. No, he owed me.
Knock, knock.
Hmm.
Don't make me beg you over my knee.
Again.
Knock's just like,
Fine.
I'm just
and
gonna.
gives the newly acquired €100 to Mac.
Yeah, she
And then
takes
goes-
it and folds it into her pocket.
So,
Good boy, knock, knock. We can go for a fun ride later.
Hugh kind of sidesteps what's going on there, tries to guide Hillary off so he can lift up the camera. Would you mind just saying a few words? I think it'll help us with, your story, getting his face out there for, a memory, and hopefully we can tug at the heartstrings of some other highfalutin couple that's looking for a child as beautiful as Riker.
She's like, my husband was not the best man in the world. He certainly wasn't the worst. He was there for people who needed him. And it's hard to find, tenderness and even love in this world today and after the Red. But we found it for a little while, and that's where Riker comes from. And Riker's a good kid. He's smart. He's already walking. He's got potential. And potential out here, and she kind of looks around. That ain't nothing.
What do you think it's gonna be like
here, everyone's here is going to be dead way long before their time.
I'm tossed. Rather than go through all these questions, I'll just say this: like, there's a standard checklist, right, in this kind of an interview that Hugh would go through that basically looks for, wanting, desire, and terrible tragedy, and
right, like this. If it checks off enough boxes, it's like, now it's gotten to the level of put outable.
Yeah. But basically, he's just collecting, right? He'll do that analysis later when he's had a chance to look at the footage. But he just wants to run through a quick 3-minute interview and see if he can, pull any other strong emotion out of her. Maybe some tears, whatever.
Yeah, something that looks good for the camera. You never actually, it's all muted out with like the different colored background and like the music over the melancholy music. Yeah, she probably gives you a couple of those scenes. But yeah, no, I forget. You give Cyber Eyes that are recording this also?
I have audio. I have Cyber Ear that records.
Okay, cool.
So I've been recording since we started talking to her at the very beginning.
Perfect.
But the camera records itself too.
Cool. All right. She should be like she kind of lists up the date, the carnation to Arizona. She's like, "Thank you, sir. This is a little bit of prettiness and all this ugly."
Like, enjoy it for a while. Sure, you can find another buyer.
Secondhand carnations. True story.
And I'm probably, as he was doing the interview, I'm probably just, fixing a couple things around the place that I just see that are broken.
Oh yeah, like the door kind of is off kilter, so now let's get this hinge right. Yeah, that kind of thing. Cool. What's Mac doing in the background, or is he just kind of I suppose I have to ask it. At least from this initial setup, it looks like Mac is Knock Knock's handler. Is that about right? Am I feeling that vibe, or is everybody Knock Knock's handler and it's Mac's turn right now?
We'll just say that it goes on rotation. Who's going to be in charge of Knock Knock for the week?
It's probably whoever's within arm reach of Knock Knock at the moment.
At the moment of an infraction, which is all the time, yes.
It's probably a significant chunk of that out of vehicles is Mac. Or at least out of... I don't know. Yeah. Whoever's close. Knock Knock has proven that they need a handler.
Yeah, no shit, right?
I would say Hugh definitely doesn't do that sort of thing simply because there's way too much footage to capture there. There's just way too much footage to capture. So,
Okay. Oh, then maybe I have a little side deal with Hugh that I'll be the full-time handler, and I can get some royalties off the footage.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
it-
sure.
I wonder if is anyone going to stop Knock Knock? Because now Knock Knock's talking with some dude on the street. Like Knock Knock's got their hands behind their back, looking all cute.
Oh my god.
So yet again, Jason is Brian's handler.
Yeah.
Fox says hi.
All right. All right. What do you guys do? So yeah, you're kind of. She kind of goes inside again. You can kind of see that she's extra thankful for 3 out of the 4 of you for being around, and kind of goes back in, closes the door behind you. You hear like that again. It's like this is a cargo container. This is a shipping container. You hear that loud like metal, like of the metal bar being twisted. So that as it twists, it pushes the 2 pieces of metal up, one into the upper side, one to the lower side, to kind of lock the container entrance from that side. And she's as secure as she can be. And as like a last tug at whatever heartstrings you have for Dixon, as the door closes, it's kind of like obscured by the metal of the thing. As it closes, as the metal becomes visible as a meat, it says, "Welcome home, Dix. Me and Riker love you." And then you turn away. What's
Arizona puts his hat back on. That's a shame.
Hugh war chalks the door with the date and his initials. He's been here as of this date.
What does that mean? I don't know what war chalking means.
Oh, it's actually like a thing about Wi-Fi hotspots. Like,
oh yeah, you go on the street
like
and
the
you can
2000s. Yeah, you would put down
right.
Whatever you knew about that hotspot where somebody could see it.
Yeah, so passerby know the password or whatever. Yeah.
In this case, he just uses it as a form of tagging. At least within FYYL that if somebody else comes across this, we have a gentleman's agreement that gonna let this one go. So,
Gotcha.
Are you essentially just doing Kilroy was here?
I don't know what that is. I know the name Kilroy, but
Kilroy was here was a World War II thing. With basically that one character with the big nose hanging over a fence.
Yeah,
and it just kept showing up everywhere, and there was no known origin of it.
I know this is just like HH and the date, and from that, the other media people at FYYL would leave it alone for today if they heard about the story or wanted to chase it down.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, what's your next stop? As I kind of explained to you guys on Discord and elsewhere, this is going to be, this is going to be a very open world type of campaign. This is not me necessarily lining up a job for you every time you're looking for one. You can chase one down, and and if you do it right and whatnot, I'll provide. Or the world just might happen to you and suddenly something comes your way or another incident or whatever. But think of this as a very open world type of campaign where, that you're not on my rails here. You're just kind of floating through the world, and what happens. And a lot of it is going to be you making it happen.
I was going to say, do we have license to make up stuff?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Then, there's one that's like, well, I do have a lead on some Optitech mag viewers. One of the fixers we contact, Requiem, shared this with me. Of course, he wants a cut, but just some old shipping data they came across in one of the, in some net run somewhere. Has a shipment of these going to this, one tech shop, just inside the hot zone, right before the incident. Could be something, could be nothing, but I mean, I certainly don't mind hitting a tech shop to see if anything's left.
Yeah. How much are they? Do you feel like this is a big deal? Small,
Red
medium,
Viewers
large.
back in the day, ran about €500 each, depending on their, whether they were low light or infrared or,
And what are these again? I
camera.
didn't quite catch what they were.
They're basically fancy binoculars.
Oh, gotcha.
Chromebook 3. I figured I might as well look at CP 2020 and equipment to get ideas for what to reclaim.
Yeah. So
That's a great idea.
And kind of one of the things, I'm not sure if you guys caught where Michael Pondsmith actually ran a game recently on, I think it was a Twitch event.
Yeah, I saw part of that.
Yeah. So one of the cool things that he points out is this is an environment of scarcity. It's like, yeah, you have all this high tech stuff here, and you have, the technology is here, but can you get it? There might be you might have a broken cell phone or whatever, and that's what you have to live with. You have agents, but I think he's used that for as like an example. But out there's this trailer with 100 brand new cell phones still in the box, and they just got lost, and they were chased off the road by some rampaging nomads or go gangs or something like that, and it's a matter of finding the stuff. And it's like, yeah, if you can just get that and bring it to a night market, or start one of your own if you have the right connections, and that's how it goes. So it's like it's all about scarcity. It's like, can the technology exist, this stuff is there, but can we get our hands on it? It's like a supply and demand. If someone isn't willing to pay for something, then it's not worth that much.
And the named items, the actual brand names, fetch a lot more because everything is just kind of mass produced. Which is why guns are guns. 'Cause they're all coming from the same factory.
Right. But
Hugh issues the ever familiar 3, 2, 1, so that you guys know, like, he's gonna put you guys on camera.
Do you do the 3, 2?
Yeah, but much faster than
Much
that.
cooler and
too.
faster. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about cooler, but
Well, probably cooler.
definitely much faster. Hugh is actually pretty cool. He's pretty damn cool.
Oh, Hugh thinks so.
In his own circles, I guess, right? Probably not in the nomad circles.
Not enough
Hugh's
fringe.
so cool. Hugh's so cool, you can keep a side of beef in him for a week.
Ooh, damn.
He's so hip, he can't even see over his own pelvis.
Oh,
so whatever agreements we have about like facial covers or use of names, real names, fake names, whatever, like those, this is the signal of like, okay, we're going into that world because this is going to be footage for the documentary and whatever I can put together for an FYIL story. So
so let's kind of define that. So when his camera switches on, I'm going to say that it's already programmed with various parameters. Like if you see Arizona's face, is it blurred out, or are all your faces blurred out? Do you wear masks, or are you semi-famous?
I'm looking for the fortune and glory, so this is the glory.
Yeah.
Right
How about the rest of you guys? How about Mac and Knock Knock?
Okay, I thought Knock Knock would want to be covered, but then I thought about it. No, he wouldn't. I know they wouldn't. They would, whenever he was about to turn on the camera, you see Knock Knock pulls out a little makeup thing, getting themselves all ready.
How about Mac?
Mac, I guess, will throw up the hood on the hoodie and quickly put on some of those really, really oversized, douchey sunglasses.
the kind that also like shoot out infrared light and kind of block your face from the camera, or just sunglasses?
I figure between the hood and the oversized sunglasses, it probably is enough for my face, but privacy glasses work.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll just go with that. I'm some kind of mysterious figure with oversized sunglasses, looking like I'm trying to hide from the paparazzi.
Fair enough. And how about names? Are your names used?
Arizona's fine for his.
There's literally 60,000 max in the city limits of Night City, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
How about Knick-Knack? Knick-Knack.
Yes, because I just thought this will lead to some amazing situations later on down the road. So yes, of course, Knock Knock's name is plastered right underneath their face.
Oh, awesome. All right. Hugh Huntley has full ride here. As long as Matt gets his disguise on, you're all set. So yeah, okay. So I'm sorry for that interlude. Just want to make sure we're kind of just got that finished right off the bat.
Yeah, no, that's really good clarification.
Yeah, so
and it's just, I'm just hanging out. I'm not going to be, interviewing or anything, but I may ask a question here and there.
Yeah, so I think as soon as you do 3, 2, 1, I'll sort of recap. Like, got a line on some OpTech viewers from Fixer I know. I met at the last night market. Looks like they were shipped. Well, I won't say what edge of the hot zone, but the shop was, in the center of the block. Might have survived. Worth a look. Let's go digging, boy.
You think there's a chance anyone else is after this right now?
Like, always a chance. And I just, kind of look at Knock Knock.
Camera swings.
But we should be okay.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Wouldn't mind finding another med tech, though, but it's kind of short notice.
After every time that Knock Knock stops talking, the camera always swings to Mac to see Mac's reaction.
That is so spot on.
Even though most of my face is obscured by these giant sunglasses, the size really come through. If sunglasses could emote, the only emote they would have is a big sigh.
Maybe those shoulders drop for a second. There's a
like defeated.
The sigh is definitely audible.
And it is real.
Shall we?
Yeah, it's probably about at this point. It's about like 1:00 in the afternoon. I'll say it's a spring day, so it's like you have a bunch of a good amount of time before darkness happens. I'm not sure what your modus operandi is concerning like, do you approach places during the daytime, at night? Do you that kind of thing? Are you looking for any other background on them, or you just kind of like go with the lead type of thing, or what's your way of doing things, generally speaking?
So if needed, and this is the reason why I asked, do we think that there's somebody else after it is, I can take rumors and things like that and try to hunt them down for more information.
Yeah, you maybe find out if there's any recent activity in the area.
Sure.
Yeah.
Generally
Killings, whatever.
Recent activity, killings, yeah. All right, power outages.
Suspicious goings on.
Oh, actually, Knock Knock that's, you see, when it actually comes time for the mission time, you'll all notice like a switch goes off in Knock Knock's head, and they surprisingly get very serious.
Now it's business.
Knock Knock always knows. For some reason, you're like, Knock Knock, why do you know all these alleyways? Like, Knock Knock strangely knows always the lay of the land, and they love to plan. And this is their thing. They love to figure out ways on how to sneak in places.
Gotcha. So let's so do we want to look at the media's rumors thing real quick?
Yeah.
And then we can kind of see if Knock Knock has anything to add to that.
I was going to say, if you need help, I do have local expert.
Cool. Are you a local expert in that area? Like in the hot zone?
Ooh. You know what?
Yeah, because the local expert skill is defined as basically a few blocks or a small neighborhood.
Where you grew up.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Because not that hot zone. It was a different hot zone. Knock Knock grew up in.
Different hot zone.
Mine, but
Yeah, it was Knock Knock's from the jalapeno zone.
The jalapeno
Hold
zone.
on.
All right, so
Well,
let's do the rumors. Let's see. Hop over here.
So, Hugh typically will, depending on the scope of what we're talking about, he will either reach out through a service desk at FYYL to see if there's any last minute blips.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so it's South Night City. Knock Knock grew up in
Gotcha.
that hot zone. That hot area.
And if it's not something that's gonna be, if it's something that's deeper than that, then he'll lean on Corked, his netrunner, his brother.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
and I'm thinking we're looking at, like east end of Old Corp Center.
Gotcha. So a decent ways inside the border of the hot zone.
Right.
Gotcha. Let's see here. So let's look at the media rumors ability. Again, this is I do like to make these kind of like a teaching actual play, that type of thing. So let's and again, I just want to put out there that I am not an expert of Cyberpunk Red yet. I've read it over, I think pretty much cover to cover, but I haven't absorbed it all yet. I'm not going to be an expert. I'm assuming, is that the same? Would you say that's about the same for you guys, or has someone just totally nerded out and done nothing but Cyberpunk Red since the PDF came available?
I've read
Master.
I read over the rules mostly.
I know nothing.
I mean, for the basic mechanism, it's stat plus skill plus D10 versus difficulty. That covers like 90% of stuff.
Sure. All right. Well, let's get into the media ability. So, the media role ability is credibility. So, in this case, we're looking at rumors. So, medias are deeply plugged into information networks, Hugh totally explained where that was coming from. Assuming you're entirely off grid, at least twice per week, the GM will secretly roll your credibility rank. So credibility times credibility rank plus 1d10. The check beats any of the DVs on the rumor table, which is we're not actually really concerned about at the moment. Well, I suppose it's part of this.
This is an active one.
Yeah, this is an active role. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a passive, which is what that describes, and then there's also the active version. So these are the same rumors that a media might find by hitting the streets during gameplay using the relevant information, gathering skills, conversation, interrogation. So this kind of covers it all. Like you'll be, this role basically covers you talking to your brother, the netrunner, your media contacts, everything. So when the media is actively looking for rumor like this, they roll appropriate stat plus relevant skill plus 1d10 against the table. So basically, how which ways would you say you're kind of trying to get this? What stat and skill are we looking at?
So probably gonna be along the lines of either int or cool. It kind of depends. I think in this case, we're considering this stuff to be not hot corporate tech. It seems like it's kind of forgotten corporate tech, so I'm going to go with cool.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as a skill goes,
yeah, are you pretty much I suppose it's a library search. It's more conversation with your couple contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So skills are tied to stats in this. You don't go, I'm gonna do cool and whatever this time. Then I'm gonna do Dex and the same thing next time. So
So if I'm using cool, then it's limiting those skills that are related to cool.
Yeah. So like, for
basically,
example, so like conversation is
Okay.
linked to empathy. So if you're doing that,
Okay.
that's how that would
Yeah.
go.
You're more likely you'd look at your skills, and if you got them on the character sheet, there should be skill. You should have your link stat marked next to them, like cool, emp, will, dex, or
And
whatever.
how many points you have in that?
And then there's supposed to be, and then there should be a little roll button at the end of that will do all the math
Yep.
for you and roll it.
Right.
So I'm thinking probably persuasion in this case. You know, trying to press somebody for just a little bit more information. Perhaps it's the
nice.
lead they wanted to go for, but that type of thing.
Cool. That's perfect. So, okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll it. Roll persuasion. Let's see how we do. 19.
Ooh.
My.
Nice. Daddy likes. So let's see here. That definitely brings it up to a substantial type of rumor. As a typical rumor, it initially contains concrete information, beneficial to a potential investigation like names, places, times. All right. Okay. That's pretty helpful. We'll say that was successful for you guys. All right. So yeah. So who was the first person you were talking to? I know the second was your brother.
The first one would have been Libby. She works the service desk. You know, takes my immediate requests, and if she has to, she puts me out to a local contact in the street or somebody on the net. Depends on what it is we're going after.
Gotcha. For purposes of this scene, I think it's okay that we say it's taken care of. This is all through your agent. So you're basically talking to her. You kind of, at the same time you're talking to her, you're probably ping texting your brother, and that kind of thing. You probably have a priority setting on his agent. So like whenever your stuff comes in, it immediately interrupts him, whatever he was up to, that type of thing. So yeah, you talk with Libby, and yeah, she's when you kind of describe what you're looking for, what Arizona described, yeah, she's like, okay. I mean, I'm looking over some manifests. Some looks like that was an operational shop back in the day. Then, it was actively receiving things. I see. I found a couple of fragments, but I can't tell what was shipped to them. And then it comes to like when you kind of cross-reference that with what your brother brings back to you, it's like oh yeah, I actually lifted off. I found something in the local data net. There are people who like who do genealogy in present day, and there's also in the time of the post Red, there's people who just put crap together to kind of rebuild in some kind of sense what was, kind of put together the picture. So yeah, I'll say between your two sources, you're able to pretty much figure out like, yeah, there was definitely shipments going there. We can't say if it's actually those viewers, but there were shipments going on there that day, and they were received, and probably just potentially in like an hour or something before the actual blast.
Thanks, Libby. You're the deck.
Yeah, she kind of smirks and turns off the thing. You're not actually sure she's a real person. She might just be like an AI, like on a AI face type of thing. But yeah, and it's really not important either.
You happen to find out any hostiles in the area?
Beneficial to investigation: names, places, times.
Yeah, probably not. That probably wouldn't recover something like most present day events necessarily. It was kind of, the more search was more kind of towards older stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, well, Hugh presses too. So like once he knows the location, who's active, like who patrols.
Libby would have, if there was any like blips on like the informational radar with like like go gangs in that area or something, Libby would have let you know in this case.
Okay.
So as far as you can tell, it's quote unquote dead zone.
Let's go get our eyes on it and see what it looks like.
Let's roll.
Cool. So, Mac, is your vehicle powered by Chew2?
Well, I assume everything's pretty much Shutu these days. And I said there's no electric because there's not really any infrastructure. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can do some Shutu.
Excellent. All right, yeah. So everyone piles in. Knock Knock has their special seat with the door knocker hung in front of it on the back of the front seat. Yeah, Arizona is just like, what has he done now? So here's the main question: who do you guys take turns having to ride in the back with Knock Knock?
Ooh, good question.
I would
That is a
say
good question.
Knock's just sitting there going.
I think
I-
Arizona's back typically. So I think Hugh needs a good view of things up front.
That's what I figured is Hugh would be up front.
Probably claim shotgun. No pun intended.
Or maybe pun intended. Fair enough. All right, yeah. So you're crammed in the back with Knock Knock. Knock Knock, I'm assuming, does not generally respect personal space unless there's a gun shoved in their ribs. So you work that out between yourselves there. So
Well, there'd be enough space back for them. They're not going to be cramped.
Yeah, it's a compact SUV, right?
Yeah, it's a compact SUV. It's still reasonably roomy. It's just
Right.
not overly tall.
I'm more talking about Knock Knock's complete and blatant disregard for personal space.
Well,
So
Knock
he
Knock
could
is
still
more
be pressed
focused
up
on
against Arizona.
is more focused on messing with Hugh in front of them. Every chance they get, like the snake comes out of their mouth, and it's just, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, and it's so freaking macabre because you guys know that's an instrument of death. You've seen the horrible things that it does.
Machine.
This is not funny, And it's like, shit, it's on my shoulder. He could literally murder me like in a second if he really, really wanted to, and if he felt like it suddenly, It's unfucking nerving.
Yeah.
But you're cool,
Who
so who doesn't show it?
Hugh plays it cool. For him, it's just total entertainment. So, and he trusts, he does trust Knock Knock. So,
All right. Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of take off. You're making your way through traffic. It's like it's traffic in the area you're in. You're kind of in a bad area right now, as I kind of described. I'll say it was the former part of the original, like when the city was first planned out, it had all these cultural neighborhoods, so you could just like Epcot Center, you could go and explore different cultures. It was a mind expanding experience to live in Night City. That was the goal. But of course, after everything blew up and everything else went to crap and run by the mob, run by the boosters, things fell out of the original use. So this what you're in was like originally like the Koreatown, and there's still like vestiges of it as you guys are kind of driving by. You see like neon signs that are still functional like they used to be for like either restaurant type of marquees or entertainment marquees, and people have just repurposed them. Like, if the C doesn't work, you kind of like you just name around it. Your company is now named this instead of the actual full name, like
whatever's left of the sign.
Whatever's left of the sign, yeah, that kind of thing. And it's so driving is a weird experience in Night City. A horn honk is like a challenge, and you're very likely to be met with someone just parking in front of you and getting out with an axe or a shotgun and answer that honk. So it's a strange driving experience where there are assholes on the road literally everywhere, and you're maybe one of them.
Do we have armor on this car?
Yeah, what's the coverage? I don't know the stats on your car.
Okay, I can't remember the stats of the car off the top of my head either. I don't have any extra armor on that.
Yeah, but cars themselves they are innately armor. It's kind of interesting. I think the rules are kind of harsh with vehicles, in my opinion. Like if you ram into somebody, if you run someone over, everyone in the car takes a whiplash critical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Which is
pretty
not
harsh.
fantastic.
Even if you hit a person,
That's what the car is made for. Is made for murdering people, for crying out loud.
But if you hit the car, it doesn't matter what you hit. The car takes 66 damage.
I say house rules.
Yeah,
But
we might have to house rule that one. I agree. I completely agree.
I mean, there
It's
is
unfair.
an upgrade that you can take that is literally combat plow. When you slam the front of the vehicle and please cover another vehicle or unlucky pedestrian, your vehicle doesn't take any damage and nobody suffers whiplash. If you were boosted by NOS on the turn you slammed it, your front, you do more damage. But essentially, yeah, as one of the upgrades, you can take Ram Plow, which now makes you immune to ramming damage that you inflict. But it's just that seems kind of ridiculous, especially if you're running over people.
Yeah, so let's house rule this real quick. So I'll at least say that if whatever you hit, it takes basically enough damage to destroy it. The people inside don't take whiplash. I'm not sure what we do about the damage to your own vehicle, but the whiplash thing is a little like Like again, if you're running over a person, there's no reason that everyone needs to get whiplash. Especially if like their damage, they take pretty much all the damage. So, yeah.
Yeah, although it does
a little mean.
If you hit somebody with the car, that if assuming they don't die from the damage, they have the option to be on top of the car.
Right. So yeah,
which is a thing.
Let's just house rule out the whiplash for unless you're actually hitting an item that gives pushback that makes sense to give you whiplash. How about that?
Pretty much.
I think that sounds reasonable.
And then do your windows roll down, or do you have gun ports, or what?
Unfortunately, I don't have that many upgrades. The game is actually fairly stingy with upgrades. So all I've got for the upgrades now are the communication center that I put into Roll20. I have one shot of NOS. And I can drop a spike strip behind me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You know the ones. The police like to use them.
Let's see.
The upgrades are all listed starting on page 163.
Gotcha. No, I'm looking on your character sheet on the game.
Oh yeah, I put it under cyberware because there's no separate slot for vehicles.
Oh, fair enough. Let's see. Oh, ground car. Oh, there we go. Spike strip. A NOS. A NOS injector. Nice.
Okay, so I actually would like to use Knock Knock's stealth because I want Knock Knock wants to go ahead and scope out things.
Well, we're not there. We haven't gotten to the site yet.
Because once we start getting
close, we will soon.
Hopefully we'll soon.
I just want you guys to think about this. Once it starts getting close there, Knock Knock's going to jump out of the car.
Oh my goodness. All right. Fair enough.
I've seen this one before. I sit and wait until I get some kind of signal.
All right. So yeah, traffic is interesting. So people are pretty much as long as you don't really damage another vehicle, you just kind of take your time and do what you need to do to get from point A to point B in this part of town. As you get more uptown, like, where the actual corporates live, then it's like, you pretty much better watch where you're driving and drive with some etiquette, and or there will be corp cops all over you, and it will end quite badly with blood everywhere. They'll be hosing out your car and reselling it. So you guys are kind of cruising through. As you kind of make that turn off into the hot zone type area. So this is basically barricaded off. This is dangerous, or at least it was. It still is dangerous, but it was barricaded off. Human beings, they'll do stupid stuff. There's a reason you have to put warning labels on on stuff like coffee. You know, don't put it on your crotch, and don't take this medicine if you're allergic to this medicine type of warning labels, because humans are not the smartest creatures ever. So they had to be told, don't go into the hot zone. Things are going to get a little radioactive from this point on. So there were actual like metal barriers, like the kind you see like in the World War II movies with like the big like on the beaches that held off, the landing ships, like the big metal, the huge steel and iron jack looking things. Those were in place with like some, kind of like lighter metal kind of like across it, and that's it. You guys know the spots. I mean, this is part of your stomping grounds, so you know where the spots are where all that's kind of torn off, and you can kind of just go in and out as you need to. Every now and then you get a little harassment. There's various levels of gangs in the city. They're not all complete badass, well put together units. So like on the way, as you're kind of going in, you see these really low level boosters try to harangue you out of money, like, hey, you get out of the car and give us your stuff. And this Mac has seen this 1,000 times and just drives on by. What are they going to do? You all could literally just murder, destroy their gang, and deep down they know it. Says, but they're looking for those new fish, those inexperienced people who actually would get out and then they own them, type of thing. And you're not those guys. But yeah, you drive in through, and I have to say, I have to imagine that you all have this sense of just a little dread. Like, yeah, I'm taking up more radiation. Rads don't really go away per se. They could just be mitigated. So yeah, it's like literally you guys can never procreate, or they would be, deformed abominations because of all the radiation that you're sucking up here. It's enough that it's not going to, again, if you take your drug regimen, it's not going to lead to an early death. However, you can't avoid the damage it's done to your genes, type of thing. But yeah, so you drive in, start navigating. I'm assuming does Arizona kind of relay information to Mac's agent? Kind of like, share GPSs.
We never show on screen, you kind of sanitizes it before he, sends out something. So we certainly don't want to, have a sign pointing to us as to, where we are and where we're trying to get out of.
Yeah, there's no active broadcasting unless there's emergency situation.
Yeah, especially if we don't know if we're going to find it, if we're going to come back, if we're going to try and mine it a second time.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy who you want to be the news guy who broadcasts Al Capone's vault and then finds absolutely freaking nothing and making it the most boring and letting down news show of all time. Geraldo Rivera.
But so much publicity, so much hype, and so many sponsorship deals and ad sales. Not finding anything is probably the point. Because it
still worked.
He wasn't selling the contents of the vault. He was selling the whole spectacle around it.
It's the ride.
It's the ride.
Yeah, so as we're getting closer, Arizona will probably even, verbally say, should be one of the next couple streets, assuming they're still there.
Cool. All right, and that's when Knock Knock leaps out of the car and into the shadows.
And I adjust and, send, have my agent send, a map over to Knock Knock.
Yeah, so now Knock Knock, you have it, and now I think so. An agent really is just kind of like a smartphone. I'm going to say, you guys, it comes with like an earplug where you can hear it at least. For the actual overlay, you're going to need special glasses or cyber eyes, that type of thing, for the HUD for the HUD of your agent.
For what used to be, a reasonably common upgrade for eyes, the Cryon stuff is pretty hard to manage. It's like one of those, 2 eyes, takes 3 slots, whatever. Like, certainly harder to get nowadays.
Yeah, we can always get the glasses. I'll say those go for like €50.
Smart goggles are always nice, yes.
Yeah, the equivalent. Smart goggles are trademarked by Shadowrun. But yeah, so knock knock jumps out the window. This is normal. Nobody even bats an eye at this. Normal people would be freaked out, but you're not normal people. You're edge runners. You're cyberpunks. So that leaves us.
We would still be freaked out by it, except that it's knock knock.
Except that it's not. If it was a normal person doing it, it'd be like, oh my god, what are you doing?
I mean, see, there are actually smart glasses in the gear list. Problem is, they are 500 euros.
Yeah.
Contain 2 option slots for cyber eye options.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
For now, we'll say basically, yeah. So knock knock, you'll get like a proximity type thing, like you'll get the beep when you're closer, hot cold type of reaction. If you do want to do a visual, you'll have to actually look at the agent, etc. So yeah, so we're about at our halfway point. So why don't we take our 10-minute break and be back, and then we'll find out what's going on in that shop, that abandoned shop.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'll see you guys in 10. All right, here we are. All right, back from break. Last we saw our fateful edge runners. They're motoring down like a block inside the red zone. And again, one of the things I want you guys to kind of remember is this is like driving through Chernobyl. It's like there are. But this is like a big packed city, So but it's like driving through Chernobyl in the sense that like people left in the middle of a meal. They left stuff on the street. People died. Fell where they died. There's still nobody really cared about cleaning up corpses, so there's probably skeletons around with tattered clothes, but more like again, people kind of dropped things and left it. So you could walk into a house and see what they were last doing when everything hit, type of thing. Things of course rotted away and old, etc. But same general idea. It's very macabre and generally quiet, with the exception of the sound that you hear, like a howl of a dog or rubble falling or a part of a building collapsing. But otherwise, rather quiet, and that's saying something for Night City. So yeah, let's see. So knock knock. Let's see what you're doing. What's your game plan here? Why'd you jump out of the window? Everybody wants to know.
So in Knock Knock's mind, we're supposed to be coming up on this building, and Knock Knock's just thinking, car's too loud, and it's like we need to be sneaky. And so Knock Knock jumped out the window to go scope out ahead, and if they find anything interesting that they don't want to deal with, that might be better with the group, they'll let them know. But they're generally just going to go scope out, see what's up ahead, and plus they feel more relaxed when they're one with the shadows.
Fair enough. Let's see here. So okay, so go ahead and make a stealth roll. I'm not going to make you roll against anyone else, just because we don't know quite what's out there yet. But I'm going to say that this is going to be just as general, not making any noise and making your way. It's going to be a value of 13 for you to hit.
I rolled a 17.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
Knock Knock's very sneaky. Now, I want to I'm so glad you didn't have the teammates roll perception, so I can just tell you this image. If anyone actually saw Knock Knock the way Knock Knock sneaks around, they would have nightmares.
What does it look like?
Oh, Knock Knock is always on all fours crawling, and will occasionally go into a crab walk and start just doing a crab walk as they're sneaking around.
Extra level of difficulty.
Jumping on walls and things, just crawling on all fours. Really just like an animal.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, you're kind of cruising around. Again, you have the place marked on your agent, and you kind of are getting the warmer signal from your earbud. And yeah, you kind of circle around the building that must be it. and as you're doing so, you I'll say that you on the rear side of it, you do see like a bunch of like I don't quite know how to say it, but they're not scavengers. They're not actually scavenging. They're just like survivors. So these are people that are so poor or so unfortunate or whatever that they've been pushed into the hot zone, and this is where they're going to die. Like soon, and it's about it looks like a group of maybe 3 women and 1 man. They're all their clothing is all old and decrepit. You wouldn't doubt that they would have pulled it off of a corpse or something that was here and put it on just to survive. And they're in the process of eating a dog. They have like a small kind of makeshift like tin can fire going, and there's like a dog that has like all these growths, like tumorous growths on the side of its face. It must have weighed a head and a half worth of weight there. And they basically have it's dead, and they are cutting little chunks of it off and putting it over on little metal skewers over their little makeshift fire.
Seeing that sight, that actually takes Knock Knock back to their childhood. And on the streets, Knock Knock has a flash when they were a little crying kid, and a group of scavengers coming up and offering them a warm meal of delicious dog. So this really takes Knock Knock back.
Just warm memories,
Exactly. So Knock Knock actually smiles, just ah.
But they take no notice of him at all. Meanwhile, the vehicle is circling like if geez, I have to use maps in this game. Damn it, I'm not happy about it.
I mean, you don't have to.
You kind of do. It's very like location oriented. Like how far away is this from this type of thing?
I appreciate your efforts.
Maps in D&D either, but yes, they very, very much do help.
Yeah. So anyway. So I'm just going to do it. So let's. I'm going to create an erase as I go. Let's see here. So yeah. So we're going to say this is like. We'll call that the building. So each of these boxes is 2 meters. So 2, 3, or that's or 3 yards or 3 yards each for the
3 yards. A yard and a meter are about 3% different.
Yeah, I was trying to translate for the non-metric people, myself included. Yes,
meters or yards, close enough.
Meters or yards. 201, 202, whatever it takes. 209, 210. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So you get the general idea. I'm just drawing this for kicks. I'm going to assume that is a good representation of the size of the building in that you're around in particular. I'll say that you guys, you're around over here. Oops. You're around where your avatars are at. Okay. And let's put up here. I'm gonna put Knock Knock kind of like you're on the opposite side. The kind of the family or whatever the hell they are, they're kind of like right on the corner here. So out of the view of your fellows who are in the vehicle over here. I'm gonna say that there's an entrance like in this general area also. Let's see. It's like right chair type of door. There's a window here that's been just shattered out. And glass, not a lot of glass survived this whole thing for obvious reasons. But yeah, so that like the front display window here is totally shattered out. The door was like totally made of metal. You can kind of see like, I think, what do you call it? Arizona would kind of appreciate that he could probably look up and see like the bars retracted over the window, the big bay window here. To kind of when it was closed, then they could just drop the bars,
Right.
make it look like a not threatening place during the daytime or when their business hours. Whereas the door itself looks like a really solid steel door.
Okay. Well,
All right, we know we kind of have an idea what's going on with Knock Knock. What about you guys? You guys just gonna you get out of the car? What's your plan?
yeah, Arizona will get out of the car and look around. This isn't the first time he's done this, but he's going to be, checking out the buildings, seeing if there's signs of it still having power, or other, recent habitation.
Okay. Let's see. Let's make a perception roll for Arizona then. DV of 13, just pretty standard roll. Okay, you make it. Yeah, it's like it looks like this was a tech shop. So inside it looks like you can kind of, as you're kind of looking in, you can see like, oh yeah, that's where that is. But you can kind of see like what the time was like a hydrogen generator. We're running on total hydrogen, like a hydrogen cell. But it's not active, and there's no other power active. No one's even jury rigged anything together in this building.
Okay.
It looks like nobody's cared about it for some time.
Then I'll look for a way to get in.
Okay. I mean, there's that open window there. If you guys want to crawl in, that's quite doable. The door seems locked, ironically, quite solidly.
And the window looks good.
All right. What's
So he was following up with the camera.
Yeah, has he done the 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. Well, it's been rolling since we roll.
Oh,
so,
you're blogging now?
Blogging? What?
Yes, that's an old joke. Sorry. I'm blogging this.
No, I mean it never stopped. It never stopped. But what I'm saying is, like, first we make sure that I'm out of the car so that I catch Arizona getting out, catch him, scanning the area, and when he chooses an entrance, then I'm following and trying to also keep up some kind of conversation going with Mac, just to
keep the patter
some
going,
dialogue.
Right.
And maybe that's in Portuguese, since we both speak Portuguese.
Oh.
Yeah,
what's Mac up to? What are they doing?
Well, finding somewhere at least safer to park, I guess.
That's really the best you can hope for.
Yeah, I guess they've left it out front, and probably behind you, kind of like behind and off to one side, just kind of like, Hugh and, Arizona is really taking the lead. Knock Knock's gone off and done whatever Knock Knock does. Arizona's kind of taking the lead. Hugh is filling Arizona, and I guess Max just kind of staying, just beside and behind. Yeah, I guess if I was trying to do it with on the map here, it would be kind of like we would kind of like this, or maybe that. Do you see how I've arranged this on the map?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 1 second.
Something like that. So, Arizona's in front. Hugh's like maybe a bit off to the side filming, or, maybe Hugh's up here to film regularly side, and then kind of Max is sort of kind of out of camera sight, close by, but not directly behind anyone.
Fair enough. So if they had
What
to
do these
retreat,
other icons mean?
What?
Sorry, what?
What does the gear icon mean on the map? It's like over you,
Oh, if you click on one of the tokens, a bunch of things open up, like the red, green, blue, the little gear in the circle, and then the gear is to do options and settings on that specific token.
Right.
Because if you go and click on a different character, then it'll all reappear centered on that person.
Yeah. For example,
Oh,
if you notice you have
okay.
that red bar and the red bubble are 45 for you,
Yeah.
or for Mac rather, and that's his hit points.
Oh,
So I've
okay.
linked basically I use that little cog to link his hit points or their hit points to that bubble in that color.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Arizona's got 35, and Hugh's got 45, and
Cool.
Knock Knock up there's got 40. So,
Excellent.
Cool.
but yeah, so basically, to the side, maybe a little bit back, kind of pulling up the rear, but also kind of keeping an idea. Definitely letting Arizona do Arizona's thing.
Fair enough.
Arizona's the exciting one.
Arizona's the exciting one. All right. I think we're about equal in time. So what's Nick Knack? I'm always going to do that. What is Knock Knock doing now that he's kind of observed that the really heartwarming scene of the dog being eaten?
Knock Knock doesn't want to disturb them, so Knock Knock's going to head in the opposite direction this way, and it's just going to walk along the building, see if there's another way to get inside.
I'll say that there's probably like a smaller window here. It's mostly like, it looks like it's glass block. So like if you wanted to use it as like an entrance, you'd have to do some, pounding, basically.
Alrighty. Yeah, Knock Knock's going to try to get in through there. Let's pound that glass.
All right, let's see. So, let's see here. I don't know that there's actually like a skill that would go with this. Athletics, I suppose.
Okay, let's go with athletics.
All right, let's see for your DV, your difficulty value. I'm gonna make it actually a 15 for this one. It's a little bit harder. This is actually, glass.
I rolled a 15.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, you're able to cave it in. Tell us what that happens. It's going to be loud. That family that you're just, again, I keep saying family, but we have no idea what they are. They're just a grouping. But yeah, they're definitely hear and notice and see you now.
So what they'll see at the end is Knock Knock had shot out the cyber snake to break the window, and when they turn, they see it shooting back into Knock Knock's mouth. Knock Knock turns to them and goes,
If you put a little salt on, if you use a little salt, it makes it taste a little better.
and then dives into the window.
Oh my god. Yeah, everyone else also hears that. It's, again, you can't knock in a glass block window without making a large amount of noise both in and outside the building.
Right.
There's the signal.
That's the signal. Was Arizona actually already inside, having climbed in the broken display window?
He's probably in the process.
All right. Yeah, so you hear that from like the back room. Suddenly like a stuff dropping.
Draw my gun and my flashlight.
Excellent. Hugh, are you climbing in also now that Arizona's fully in and drawn down?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Mac, that leaves you outside. Are you kind of defending the rear, or?
Yeah, if they're just inside, then I'll stay just outside.
Okay.
To kind of, keep an eye on as once they start moving in, I'll move in. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like this. Again, they're coming in this way. Over chat.
Yeah. In which case, then, kind of just look behind me and whatever. Oh, the big one's the main door, right? Yeah.
The big one's the glass display window that's broken out.
Okay. But yeah, once they start to move a bit further into there, like up another square or two, I'd probably hop in. But for now, I assume they're okay, and I'm keeping an eye, on the street, basically behind us.
Gotcha.
Can we see all the way across to Knock Knock, or is there walls?
Yeah. Give me a sec. I'll kind of draw a map. I can't believe I'm drawing a map.
Yeah, you are.
What you need to be doing is Googling up a bunch of battle maps that you can use for this.
Yeah, I know, but why? If I'm
Office
already in for a
map,
penny, you're in
warehouse
for a
map.
pound. So,
It's called laziness, Jason.
It's called
just
laziness. Yes. Yeah, quite exactly. Yes. So yeah, so there's a wall here that's kind of like it separates the buying selling portion of the shop from the actual, like back room shop where they actually probably fix stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, you don't see Knock Knock. You do see his back wall. There's some display cases, and that kind of thing. All the display cases are busted in, and like whatever was there is long since gone. Every now and then you see like a tag, or there might be a hard copy manual or something like that. But it's going to take some searching around to really find much. Knock Knock in the back, you are kind of you're in like a workshop area. What you're seeing is more like heavy machinery, like welding, big welding things are like, there's no way that anyone could carry them. This thing is a forklift type of machine. Like welding things, cutting things. Like one or two of them looks like they've been scavenged for parts, but there's other machines back there that seem to be intact. And there's like other storage bins and some other stock back here, or what would have been stock, but yeah. But we do see a lot of like hard plastic boxes and some other stuff back there. And the only light coming in is like from that window that you just busted in, and like then from the front.
Perfect. Perfect. So Knock Knock wants to see if there's any hidden objects, or see if there's anything hidden in there.
Gotcha.
And he actually has a skill for this.
Yeah.
Which is either conceal or reveal object. Skill for hiding objects and fighting objects that have been hidden.
Oh, interesting.
Or
Although
you can also use it for concealing a weapon under clothing and detecting concealed weapon.
Yeah, it's my understanding that it's like a sleight of hand skill and pat somebody down skill rather than a investigate type skill.
Oh, they actually have one that's for patting down. This one's actually specifically, it is for finding things that are hidden. It's because if it was finding on a person, they would label it as finding on a said person versus on just looking for hidden things.
Gotcha. Well, let's worry about that at a later time. But for now, just go ahead and roll it. It's going to take you some time to do that. This is not just a couple seconds thing. So yeah, let's call it a 15 also.
Ooh, I crit failed. No, I rolled an 11.
Fair enough. All right, yeah. You start kind of busting around. You kind of can't look for concealed stuff without knocking stuff around and moving stuff around. So yeah, the guys in the front, you definitely hear a scavenger in the back. Something's going on. There's scavenging going on.
Yeah, I'll set it over the comm. Like, knock knock. That's you. Try and keep the parts together. We're trying to salvage. I'm not just looking for scrap.
I'll try.
Yeah, now that I think about it, we did talk about how when you're in proximity you can ping each other. So I suppose you would know from looking, if you took some time to look at your agent, that yes, that's probably knock knock back there. That makes sense. So good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do y'all do?
I want to move in and find out what knock knock's breaking up.
Okay.
Looks like most of the display cases have been cleaned out, so go for the easy stuff first, and then then we'll do a thorough search, assuming there's no interruptions.
Good.
As we're moving along, we uncover a different space, or we walk into a different space. I want to use perception, and I'm going to be kind of the weapons ready backup. I think I don't have much of a weapon. I just have a heavy pistol, but
That's a good weapon.
since I
That's a
can
really
use
good
my
weapon.
cybernetic enhanced perception, and I'm constantly looking for the best shot in the scene, I figure that's a good time to, look for stuff. So,
All right, cool. Let's see.
and I do have, I think, when it says base, like at a base 14, does that mean like the skill plus the stat? Is that what
Correct.
base means? Yeah. So then, I do have a base 15 in this. So it says I can read all sorts of people, include. Oh wait, that's lip reading. Sorry, hold on. Base 14, you always know roughly. I don't have my. I always roughly know something. Sorry, my PDF and I don't get along very well. Oh, this is terrible. Anyway, I'm gonna keep perceiving. So.
Gotcha. So yeah, okay. So at base 14, you always know roughly what's going on around you, and only trained professionals can sneak up on you, type of thing. That's kind of like just a level. There's probably still a roll involved, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's basically saying if your passive is this high, you can you're generally always going to roll high enough to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what base means. It's like your passive rating in whatever it is. So it is got snap a skill. It does mention that, and at the end of page 128. But yeah, so yeah, the 14 you don't have to roll to do those basic things. You're just always going to be able to do them.
Gotcha.
Excellent. All right. So yeah. So let's have you roll again. Let's go for do that training or natural talent. Let's have you roll a 15. That's your DV. I think it actually makes it regardless, but you can technically crit fail. Yeah. A 36?
Oh god!
Is that even possible?
Wow! How? That's amazing. Oh, that's because you crit.
Oh, the crits are exploding D10s.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's not possible.
Well, good job.
It is when you crit.
Yeah, so when you crit, you roll the 10. So you take the 10, you roll the D10 again, and then you add your stat and your skill. And so you actually happen to roll a 10, which exploded, and another 10.
Or maybe a 10 and a 5. No,
if you hover,
it's 10, 10, 8, 8.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You literally rolled the absolute maximum.
Oh my gosh.
Good job. All right. So I'll say that you're going to notice something, but it's kind of out of your realm. Like you see as you from your kind of position where you are over here, you can kind of see around, like over in this area. There's like I'm going to say you can like you kind of zero in on it with the camera, etc. There's like a rack of stuff back here. Like it's kind of pretty much empty except for like nuts and bolts, kind of literally. But behind this metal rack, there looks like something like a plate that's made to be raised, like kind of raised, lifted up on a hinge type of thing. But yeah, that looks out of place. It looks like it was meant to be concealed, but there you are.
What's that? What's that over there, Arizona? That plate looks like can be raised.
I was just heading that way.
All right. So so as
I poke my head around the corner just to make sure that's knock knock there. As I come through.
Right. Yeah, you kind of do that little peer around, just make sure if it's not knock knock, I can still shoot it in the face. But yeah, Knock Knock is doing this thing on all fours, probably like, getting close to the ground. His eye is like literally a centimeter off the ground as he kind of scans, like, there's got to be a secret passage here, type of thing. Mac, Mac moved in, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Still just kind of like looking over stuff, kind of looking out the window, kind of looking at the car.
Yeah, you definitely, where you're at, Mac, it's mostly like, broken display cases and stuff like that. There's a couple desks here, like, or countertops where they would have, done payment type stuff. But in this area, not a whole lot is left intact anymore. Through a combination of the original blast, the pocket nuke, and previous scavengers. It's long since busted up and picked. But maybe you have a lead here. So yeah, Arizona. What are you gonna check out that thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna check out that plate and see if it's like a safe area.
Trapdoor.
As you kind of you kind of raise the plate, you see it looks like some kind of biometrics identification lock.
I'll pull out my tech gear and see if I can bypass it.
Okay. So what is your tech gear, out of curiosity? We haven't seen your tech gear yet.
So I do have I carry a tech bag with me. Usually it's kind of like as a backpack. And as I come up to it, I'm also I just hold out my arm, and there's a we'll assume it's some tools and a little optical scanner that come out that pop up. I do have the tech scanner option.
Oh, and actually built in your arm?
Yep.
Your cyber arm? Cool.
Yep. I barely had enough money.
Worth it.
Worth it. Totally worth it. So it's between those couple items, and I'm kind of taking a look at it, and looking around the edges, and poking a few things with some looks like some sort of testers, and I'll see if I can manufacture whatever signal it needs or bypass it.
Okay. So now how does that work? Does that kind of do you get any bonuses, or?
So the tech scanner provides a +2 bonus. The tech bag, I think, is, for me at least, is like just the excuse to be able to have the tech gear on hand, to deal with everything.
Sure. Like say I have this.
The tech bag itself doesn't mechanically provide anything.
Mm-hmm.
Neither does the tech tool that's with it, but it's just assumed that you need, wrenches.
Right, if you don't have it, you can't do it.
The tech bag eliminates the penalty for not having the right tools.
Right.
Perfect. Okay.
Right. Essentially.
And
whereas the tech scanner does actually give a +2 bonus.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's I'm gonna say this will be a DV17. Why don't you give that a roll?
Electronics or security?
Yeah, let's I haven't taken a look at your skills yet, but either of those sounds actually quite good.
So electronics and security tech are the same, and it's a double difficulty skill.
Oh, gotcha. I see electronics tech.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
And the roller doesn't have the +2 built in, so it'll be 2 above whatever this is.
Perfect. 20. Nice. All right. Dang. So yeah. So as you're, as you kind of everyone else kind of sees Arizona do stuff. It's like it looks like a lot of just weird, odd, fidgeting to you guys, but to someone who actually knows what they're doing with this stuff, it actually, you can see, okay, so I'm hitting this jumper there, I'm shorting out this connection here, and I'm prying this off so that it doesn't spray its payload of, pepper spray at me for a failed attempt.
So it's an optical reader.
and kind of jimmying around. You can every now and then you can kind of hear like an electrical like zap, like zzz, like again like there's a short somewhere. Like I'm sure you've all heard that sound before or felt it if you actually touched something while it was active. I've done that. It sucks. Which would help to have a cyber hand, I suppose. But yeah, suddenly the thing just you hear like the ding, that equate the universal. It worked, and welcome, Mr. Edmund.
Mr. Edmund, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, the so as you're kind of looking around, seeing okay, what did that do? Hugh is probably the first to see it. There's a kind of like what looked like a tile square. There's like those crappy little tiles on the floor. One of them actually like pops up.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, so it pops up and is active. So it's about half a meter square.
Think we got something. What is this?
Oh, I mean, it looks like just a little hidey hole, I would imagine. And I'll, go over and, feel around the edge of it and, take it off or, lift up the door, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, being a tech guy, you kind of knew to check for that secondary thing. Like basically, if anyone was to just lift that up, the little wire inside that's on the little eyelet around it would have activated a different thing. But again, you're a tech guy. This is where you live, and you definitely kind of saw that. So okay, take the little wire off the little eyelet and lift this up. And
I look, at it and I'm like, huh, Claymore, crude, effective.
Probably a claymore, and also I'm gonna say it looks like a what do you call it? A back in the day music player and a hollow, like a hollow generator thing. And if you take it out and like kind of like flip the switch on the base of it, up you get one of these. This figure comes up and it's like it's Johnny Silverhand doing a riff on his guitar, and it actually makes noise. And you can see on the bottom is inscribed to whatever name I just gave this guy, which I already forgotten.
Redmond.
Yep. So it's a personalized autographed hologram of Johnny Silverhand. And the player, if you look even through like the titles, it's all vintage Johnny Silverhand type stuff.
Oh yeah, this has some value.
Hey,
I'll look around. Is there more, in this hole, or how big is this compartment?
The only other thing in there is like a pistol, just a generic light pistol type of thing. But yeah, so let's see who would be the again. None of you are fixers. But who has like a skill we could call like an appraisal type skill, like decide what's valuable? Who has something like that they recall taking?
Like a fencing skill?
No, I don't care how good you are at the foil. I mean, like
education. It could be related to the tech skills themselves.
And fencing and selling stuff.
I mean, Knock Knock does have some education.
Okay,
and it is pretty smart.
Well, actually, what is that covered by? What skill are you looking at, for example?
I have a deduction skill, but I think that's like arriving at some kind of conclusion.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, deduction is detective work.
I mean, education might be something.
I have trading, but that's actually
because I was actually just going to ask what education work.
Mm-hmm.
General knowledge, read, write, math, history.
Yeah, your basics, but still, I think that might cover it, but it might be a little harder. What did you have?
Otherwise, we could be introducing a fixer too that we reach out to.
Oh, yeah. Mac, did you say you had something?
I mean, I have trading, but that's a social skill. That's a haggle skill.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay. Well,
I'm looking through the whole skill list. So,
Trading if it's
Because
bargain. I mean,
the only other thing I was going to think of is maybe Knock Knock will think back to their neighborhood and think, do they know any fixers that we could take it to?
well, okay. So, Mac, let's do this.
library search might be useful if you're just trying to look it up online.
Sure. Okay. Does anyone want to do that?
But
Sure, I can.
I suppose we have Mr. Huntley, who probably is a professional at that.
I have some chops.
All right. Yeah, you could probably pull it up
What am
on
I
your
Googling
agent.
for?
Like Johnny Silverhand memorabilia, etc., etc. I'll say
Potential
this
value,
is
forums, stuff like that.
This will be like a 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, if you're able to get that signature scrubbed where it's like to someone else, this could probably be worth, to the right collector, in the neighborhood of €1,000. This Johnny Silverhand thing. And that's when I give you values here, I want you to take into account that that's maybe what a person would pay for it, but the fixer who gets that person to pay for it will maybe give you half that or less.
Oh. So, all right, I text that, I guess, to the other three.
Well,
here's what I found.
So.
I like to send, some kind of proof as to where it came from, so I send that link along too.
Okay. Interesting. Not a mag viewer. Like, did you find anything like that back there, Knock Knock?
Knock Knock is
just
just
here.
Knock Knock comes up, is just, I didn't find anything. I think I broke most of everything.
How big would you say this crate is supposed to be if there's a crate of goggles here?
Could be, 3x3. 4x4. Depending on
any other big piles that are obscuring stuff that we could go check?
I'll start looking back in the, workshop area.
Right. So
actually reading the labels,
actually reading the labels and whatnot, as opposed to just, tossing shit all over the place. That's probably wise, Looking for secret shit is also very important, as we've seen, so that's also cool. So Knock Knock was on the right track. So I'll say, like, why don't we leave this to chance? Arizona, why don't you give me a D10? And roll D10, and 1 to 5, we find a case. 6 to 10, either there's the case isn't there, or it's basically already been scavenged or otherwise destroyed.
Oh,
looks like it's destroyed.
Destroyed.
So yeah, I'll say you kind of read the labels. And you're like, it's not labeled with like names of the items. It's labeled with part numbers, and that's like totally get that. You probably memorize, SKU numbers and stuff, for fun. So as you kind of okay, here's the case. This was actually, and you can actually see like the shipment, the manifest number on it.
Right.
You're like, oh right, we got it, boys. You break the seal, it's still there, and as you open it up, like, it's basically the shells of the viewers with all sorts of shattered plastic and glass inside them. So whereas yes, it was shipped here, it's like, yeah, they didn't survive the shockwave.
I'm like, and back to nothing. So then I just start looking and seeing if there's any just like equipment we can just, cut the bolts off of and, throw in the back of the vehicle.
Oh, sure. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that, yeah, and I'll say that Mac's, vehicle can handle some weight. I mean, it's probably, just being what it is, it's made to handle that extra bit of weight and that kind of thing, especially in the back. I'll say you can, if you are willing to take some time, you can literally, like you're saying, basically cut the bolts so it frees itself from the floor on like a machine press type of thing, where basically you put a bit into it and it does its thing. Useful tool and could sell. In fact, you might want it. It might be cool for your stuff.
Right.
But yeah, you can do that, and you'll find you as you guys kind of scavenge around, you'll find some bits and pieces of stuff like extra drill bits, extra not actual chips, but like the tools that you would use to seat chips and that kind of thing. Like the little solder kits you like basically press on into sockets and stuff like that. Yeah. So you can scrape up a little more. Definitely.
Well,
And one last thing Knock Knock definitely wants to do is hang out the window and go, "Can I have some of that dog?"
They're actually gone.
Oh,
The dog is still there.
he's going to that dog.
Yeah, and that's also when there's a racket from the front of the store. Four people are now coming in. Probably, I think Mac would be most aware of this.
That sounds like a me kind of thing.
That does sound like a you kind of thing. Let's go back here. So yeah, so now there are 4 people trying to make their way in front display window here.
Oh, God
Uh-oh.
damn it.
And they're not being quiet about it. They're not really planning. They are like Mac and probably Hugh at this point, I think, can kind of actually, yeah, Mac, Hugh, and maybe even Indiana or Arizona, excuse me.
Back in the middle.
Yeah. But yeah, you could probably, the two of you definitely see these 4 people coming. They aren't trying to be quiet. You can see that they're just starving, hungry, and salivating as they come in, and they're probably a little sick. But it looks like they want what you have. And they look at you like there's just this desperate, wild, look in their eyes that, I need your stuff to live, and I'm gonna take it type of look about them. They're not in any way prepared for battle, outside of basically having some general weapons. They probably all have like two of them have like makeshift bats made out of bits of rods of steel that they found. One actually has a set of rippers. There's the little finger fiber carbo-glass finger blades, and the other one has nothing. But they're advancing definitely on Mac.
Well, I guess I will have to pull out my rather large sawed-off shotgun. And sure, I guess I could probably start by just giving them a warning shot.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna put stuff here. Let's see here. And like one right here. So you're gonna do like a warning shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care. That has not dissuaded them. What you doing next? It's almost time for initiative. Oh my god, I actually have to roll initiative. Oh god. How has it come to this?
We can say, "Knock knock, here's that gunshot. Stops eating their delicious dog," and comes back in.
All right.
Well, if giving them a warning shot is not going to run them off, then Whichever one looks the most dangerous, I'm just gonna shoot him.
I'm gonna have to shoot you.
Yep.
That was a Troopers reference there. That's a funny one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot you.
All right, it'll probably be this guy here. Oop, I kind of moved him. Sorry. And it's pretty much point blank. Now you said is it a shotgun you're using?
It's game wise, it's a very heavy pistol.
Oh, it's a heavy pistol. I see.
So I'm styling it as a sawed-off shotgun with slugs.
Fair enough. Okay, I only asked because there are specific shotgun rules.
Yeah, no, I'm not using those. RPG writers do not know how shotguns work.
Fair enough.
Yeah, guaranteed. Shotguns can hit everybody in an area 3 meters wide. It's like, no, a shotgun spreads approximately 1 inch at 40 yards distance.
All right.
No.
All
So,
right. Everybody roll initiative. So it's reflex plus
How do I do-
1d10.
there's an initiative button at the very top of your sheet.
Remember to click your character token. Oh, and I guess you don't have to. Yeah. All right, initiative.
No valid.
Oh, I forgot to click. I forgot to click my token, but I rolled a 15.
What does that mean?
Yeah, click your character token first, then roll initiative.
Oh. Like
Oh,
this.
right. Yeah. It's because it's using its built-in initiative tracker.
We can move it around as we need.
Okay. There we go. So, yeah, so I clicked on
Actually,
my
I'll
own
just
character
re-roll that.
token. Yeah.
There we go. I just re-rolled it. Click your character. Click
Yeah.
on your character token
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
hit initiative.
I have initiative, except I don't.
See where to do it.
So, you click on your
it's-
character, go to your sheet. It's at the very, very top.
Top
But
left.
first, click on your icon on the map.
Yes.
Yep. Not at
There we go.
in the upper left.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, I mean, those are the numbers. Scott, I think you can drag and drop them or maybe
Yeah.
have commands to rearrange them.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm not aware, but
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, jeez. I haven't given them statistics yet. Hold on.
or names. Or names.
Or names. They don't need names.
Oh.
Names.
If they all use the same initiative, then, you know.
Supposed to name everyone. Didn't you learn that in your GM class?
Your GM school. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that would require me to prepare those in advance. So hold tight. Just 1 second. Hold on. I'll give them quick stats and we'll be good with this. So that's what reflex. We're gonna
And just reflex plus D10.
right. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see if that works. No, of course it doesn't. All right, can I just drag them around? Okay, so yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna roll d10s for these guys, and we'll put them wherever. So roll 1d10. Sorry. So roll 1d10 plus 5. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. All right, so 10, 10, 9, 7. So let's see. And again, I've never actually used this, so bear with me. Okay, so let's remove this. So 10.
I'm literally in no hurry. Like, I think I go after everybody.
Poor Hugh is the last one to go.
Almost everybody.
And,
Oh, yep,
Uh,
almost everybody.
Okay, I'll prepare this a little better next time. But let's see. So 16, 4, and 9. Okay, so that is the order there. All right, so Mac, go ahead and shoot. Let's see here. So for guns, it's basically range combat. If the person doesn't have an 8 or better in reflex, actually 8 or better can potentially dodge bullets. But below that, you're basically aiming. You're difficulty value is based on distance and what type of weapon you're using.
Yeah. If it's above that, they can use their evasion skill instead, which is what you always use in melee. But yeah.
Right,
So
let's see here.
Given that they are within 6 yards, my DV would be 13.
All right.
I noted that out down on my sheet. So
cool. All right. Go for it.
yeah.
You have to click on who you're shooting.
Don't really need to.
No, if anything, you can just ping on that on the map, and what you'll do is you can just hold down the click on your mouse, and that'll ping it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going for the guy literally right in front of you.
How did I somehow not note down that I had handgun skill? I swear. Am I looking at my sheet and it's not there? God damn it, that seems ridiculous. I must have overwritten it or something. So I have land vehicle and melee weapon. God damn it. So I'm going to have to adjust my skills. So
All right.
that's fine, but it's going to have 6 in handguns anyways.
Fair enough.
I was just saying, replace one that's high.
Replace one that's high. Funny.
All right.
Holy balls.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a 10 plus 9, exploding 8, 6. So, yeah, I think I managed to hit them pretty directly.
All right.
That's a problem for getting too close.
Roll your damage.
And that is only a single 6.
Yep. Okay, 46. Awesome. All right, so let's see, 11 damage. All right, yeah, so again, I really, one of the things I have to do is, of course, prepare NPCs a little better, which I will. But I'm gonna.
If you beat them really quick and easy, look at page 158. They give you example stat numbers for the backup that a lawman can call on, and you could just use those stat blocks.
Gotcha. For the purpose of this, the only thing I care about right now is the HP that they would have. So let's call these guys for the backup for those are 20. These guys are underfed and malnourished. We're gonna say 15. So yeah, this person is badly hurt. So we're gonna call. I'm gonna see if I can pop a little thing on him. So he is. Let's put a red there. Yeah, he's badly hurt, badly injured. I'm badly injured. All right. So do you get for the heavy pistol? Do you get 1 or 2 attacks per round?
Just auto F1.
Okay. And are you going to
the idea being?
So you have the very heavy one, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a heavy and a very heavy, so it's only 1 for the very heavy that I was using. So yeah.
You also have
it's good backpedal.
Okay, and you can move your movement, your move stat in squares, basically.
Yeah.
And you can divide it up if you want. Move, do something, move.
Yeah.
Whatever. That kind of thing. All right.
All right.
All right, so now Knock Knock. What is Knock Knock doing?
Oh, I was just trying to check my... Knock Knock needs to first get around this damn corner.
Right, what's your move stat?
That's what I was just trying to find.
It'll be a stat, not a skill.
Yeah, it's one of your attributes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 6. So you can move 6 squares.
Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knock Knock, get over here. And Knock Knock, like I imagine Knock Knock saw like Mac getting Mac shooting it first, and then Knock Knock doesn't realize Mac basically put a hole in the dude. Knock Knock's just my Mackie.
So now, as a note, so each round, you get to do one move action and one other action. As we kind of covered, you can move your move in squares, which are 2 meters square, and you can divide those up as you like. So you can, for example, if your one other action is shoot, you can shoot, move, shoot, move, or move, shoot, or move, shoot, move, or whatever. The move part can be broken up as you like in any fraction that you like.
Is there a
Okay,
good
'cause-
chance these
yeah.
guys might be cannibalistic too?
That is a great possibility.
Knock Knock's gonna pull out Knock Knock's gonna pull out their heavy SMG. They call it the baby.
Jesus. All right, so
And they're gonna shoot at this one.
all right, hold tight. Let's see how. All right, so I just want to kind of go over what the other action is. So you have a move action plus one other action. So the other action is attack, melee or range, choke if you already have someone grabbed, equip or drop a shield, get into a vehicle, that does take an action, get up if you were prone, grab, this is a combat thing or an object that the person's holding. Let's see. Hold action. You can hold action. You can basically say, I don't want to do my thing yet. You can the human shield after you've grabbed someone. You can make them into a human shield. Reload. You can take an additional move action by running. Start a vehicle, stabilize, throw something, net actions, which we don't care about, use an object, which we aren't concerned about right now. You can do a skill thing, use a skill, or a vehicle maneuver. So, yeah, okay. So you're going to be doing, from there, you said, you're basically going to shoot him. I'm going to have to shoot you. All right, let's go here. I just want to make sure everything's nice on screen. All right, so which one are you targeting? This guy on the edge here?
The heavy weapon.
Okay, so basically this guy. All right, so 14 meters. I have to look that up again. I haven't made my game master screen yet, so this is going to go smoother as we go. But for the moment,
I've seen a couple good sheets on Reddit.
Yeah, my plan is to kind of do screen capture and then put it in a Google Doc and have actual bookmarks. Basically, resolving range, boom, we're there. So this is a pistol, yes?
No, this one's actually a heavy SMG.
Oh, heavy SMD. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back to here. Sorry. So it's 14 meters. So that puts you. What's that?
I was wondering if auto fire was an option.
Oh, it is. I believe it is for that. Yeah. Are you auto firing or just single firing?
Oh no! Knock Knock's doing a single fire.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
It's
So
not
yeah.
auto fire time.
All right. So your DV is 15.
Solo. What is your attribute spread right now for your special ability?
Oh, for the heavy weapon?
No,
And
for your solo combat awareness.
Oh. Yeah, at the start of every fight, you get to spend your 4 solo points on solo special abilities.
Oh.
So that could be like increased damage, increased defense, awareness.
We're putting that because Knock Knock actually has that's why I put some into tactics as well. So if I have to, I can make a plan for battle. So, but we'll just put that into damage then.
Let's see. I'm looking at. You can spend points on threat detection for perception. Okay, you want to do damage. Each point spent adds +1 to damage before armor for your first successful attack each round, which works.
Okay.
And yeah, you have 4 points of that. So if you just want to dump it all into maximizing damage, you're at +4 on all your damage on your first hit every round. If you make multiple attacks.
Wunderbar.
All right. Roll.
All
Your
right,
target
so-
number is 15 damage or difficulty value.
Oh my god, that's a bad roll.
Yeah, does not hit. Yeah, you probably you can see kind of like the bullet hit like the cement wall like right to the right of the guy. It's like, you're trying to do you're trying to do that self control thing everyone's always telling you to do, and look what it gets you.
Yeah, I think Knock Knock is given. Nope, I'm done. We're going ballistic next round.
All right, Arizona, you're
Well,
up.
yeah, because you got the crit fail on that. Not as bad as it could be.
So as I come around the corner, was there still like these display cases, along this, side here?
Not that would get in your way of shooting, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I'm more worried about getting in the way of, someone shooting me if,
Oh, you're saying could you use those as cover? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So I'll at least hug the wall, so I'm not shooting through.
Sure.
Through used space.
Through you, just past you. You, as the bullet passes you, I just want to let you know you can kind of hear that zzz as the bullet actually whizzes at supersonic speed past you.
This leftmost guy.
All right. Let's see here. So, and you're using a pistol?
Yeah, heavy pistol. Which is rate of fire 2, correct?
Yeah, everything but very heavy is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had mistakenly put very heavy, but I bought heavy ammo, so I thought heavy pistol.
Okay. All right. So he's 12 meters away.
Yep.
So that puts you in DV 15.
Okay. Let's see. Where is my pistol?
Handgun. It's the name of the skill, but yeah.
Missing a hit.
Yeah.
All right. Roll your damage for that second one. 9. Nice. All right. So this guy is wounded. Let's see. Oops. Okay. So that guy just took 9 points of damage. We're gonna put it. Oh, sorry. So let's see. So it's gonna be 6 left, and this guy took how much? That was 11 damage. So he has like whole 4 points left. So I'm not sure if you guys can click on those to see. Can you do that to see the values? Or that's right. I have to do the enter. Sorry, just 1 second.
And is there any sort of wasn't there something for half damage, or I'm thinking of a different system?
That is a good question.
Oh yeah, wound penalties. For
Around page 186.
there you go. Wound states less than half their HP. They're at -2 on all rolls.
Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. Excellent. All right. So that brings us to the first dude. Again, I didn't label these guys. You'll someday forgive me. I'm gonna say that this dude is just crazy. So he's gonna do. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna move here, and he's gonna basically swipe at Mac, basically with bare hands. Let's see if it actually does anything. Let's see here. So this is basically you resisting you. So
I use evasion to set the DV.
Yep. Jesus, 20? I don't think this guy's gonna hit you. Let's see here. 1d10 plus 5. Yeah, it's not gonna be happening. So yeah, he's the only he in this group. He basically takes a swing at you, and it's like it's so freaking obvious to Mac. This guy is so undernourished, and probably in the final stages of dying from radiation poisoning. All right, so he did his move in that there. Let's see here. This gal is gonna kind of get in and. Let's see. I don't think she's gonna make it that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So she'll approach, but she's the one with the carbo claws. So she really can't do much. That leaves, I'll say, this guy here. Let's let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he'll make it to Hugh, and Hugh, he's going to try to hit you with a bat.
So evasion then?
Yep, roll your evasion. And that sets the damn. Oh, jeez, you guys are evaders from hell. Damn. I said damn. Yeah, the
How
only
do I get that +1? What is? So I'm looking at this. The roll was 7,
yeah,
and I can see my skill and my stat. But what's that
They do a
other
lot
one
of-
in there?
They do a
Okay,
lot of
it's
nice tricks to handle the
Yeah,
the
if you
dice.
yeah. If you look at your character sheet at the very top of your skill list, there's a little box that says "Show Help," and that'll explain it. But essentially, because of limits on Roll20 scripting, they have to do silly things with the dice rolls to actually make them work properly.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it does work out mathematically. It's just they need to be a bit weird.
fair enough. So yeah. All right, that leaves Hugh's next.
Gotcha. All right. So, just as things were breaking out, he was swearing natively that like he can't really cover everything at once. He totally
In Portuguese.
totally missed, the high action scene of bringing out the submachine gun from. He couldn't even swing the camera to see that, but luckily he didn't hit. He evades this guy. So what are my options here with my handgun? Is he too close?
There's
me
no
to
such thing
shoot
as
him?
too close in this game.
Okay. All right. So, Hugh's a little bit of a stageman. He makes a reference, dodge this.
You're probably wondering, kind of like in your head, okay, so I'm gonna in the post on this video, I'm gonna overlay some actual like armor on these guys, and the one guy, it'll be like an actual katana instead of I'll take out that old baseball bat, make a katana, la la la. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, those things definitely have been running through my head about a lot of things even before this.
All right. Your DV is 13.
All right, and I'm firing handgun. What is my handgun? It's a heavy gun.
It's your handgun skill, which is a ref skill,
It's a
or for damage. For a heavy, it would be 3d6.
Yep. Okay. It's a Mustang Arms Mark III. Just for style points there.
Sure.
Mm.
There's a 21. And here's my damage.
Nice. All right, and that guy gal only had 6 left. So yeah, what does it look like to have them get their face blown off?
Oh, it's not pretty, that's for sure. It's I think when I fire, just for that close range, I also have to actually pull the camera away a little bit.
Also, does it get splattered?
So it doesn't get splattered on the lens, exactly. So unfortunately, that this shot won't make it. But yeah, I would say that she probably caught it like right at the bridge of the nose, and everything just kind of caves inwards and out the back. And she probably falls on me since she was rushing at me to attack.
Right. Now you still have
And
a move action if you want to use it.
Okay.
You can move up to your move in squares.
I can move up to my move in squares. So let's say we'll go. Oh, what do I want to do? Go 1, 2. I guess around her. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5 here.
Cool. Oh, and nice camera angle for everything. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That leaves the last one to act, and this one is also has a baseball bat. And this one's going to freak out and go to knock knock, or at least move in that direction.
Yes.
It likes pink.
Oh, yes. Come to knock knock.
Come to knock knock. Yeah, and like the she's like again this look of just terror, desperation in her eyes as she has this baseball bat. It's like her teeth are rotted out. It's just again they're it's obvious that these are not skilled or ready fighters, but they're still that doesn't mean they're not dangerous because they can kill you. All right.
I do have to say, through all of this, it is really hard to think about, given that even though they're attacking us, not something that he really wants to be doing. Doesn't really want to have to kill people here.
Right. I'm actually okay. So she's gonna do. I'm gonna say she's in her desperation. She uses her other action to run. So she wants to be right there to be able to destroy Knick-Knack. I'm always gonna do that. So don't be surprised. All right. So that's that move. And we're back to Mac.
All right. There's still one on me, huh?
There are potentially two on you.
Okay. Tell me about the ceilings in here. Is it like a low ceiling, a very high ceiling?
It's a drop ceiling. Kind of standard. There's probably a ceiling above it, but right above you is just that, that tile, that light tile. Whatever the hell that stuff's made out of.
Or 8-foot ceilings.
Yeah, it's just a regular basic height ceiling.
Correct.
That's not going to be very helpful. No. I guess, there's one right in front of me. I might as well just give him another shot. That's what I do.
All right. Let's see. Your DV is 13.
Yeah. Try to obliterate them. I gave him a warning shot.
That is fair. Oh. No.
Oh, no.
Oh. Ooh,
does that happen?
That's definitely not good.
Yeah, as they're menacing you, it probably just goes right over the shoulder. Maybe nicks a little bit of their clothing, what was left of the rags. But yeah. Move away! Alright, that's your move?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. Knock knock, what's going on? Who's there?
When the person walks up, knock knock just goes,
Hi.
and then their jaw goes, dislocates out of socket, and out comes the cyber snake.
Alright, that's a heavy melee weapon, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Does a 20 hit?
I'm pretty sure.
Zoom.
I'll roll they're injured, so let's see here. So they can only beat you if they roll a crit. So let's see, roll 1d10, and they're at -2 because of their wound. So 20 hits, so roll damage.
A 10.
10 damage. Let's see here, and they had the whole 4. So yeah, that's all she wrote. Describe the kill.
Okay, so preemptively when Knock Knock's jaw unhinges, the girl tries to jump out of the way, but Knock Knock jumps straight onto their back, gets under their chest, and then wraps their mouth around their mouth. And then you see their stomach start to expand, and then the cyber snake shoots out of their stomach.
Oh, hope you got that shot, Hugh.
Oh yeah.
And then Knock Knock does it like the Little Mermaid, shoots its head up, and then the cyber snake just comes back in, and then the jaw just goes.
I've never seen the Little Mermaid do that.
We'll say how the Little Mermaid does like that with her hair.
Look in the blooper reel.
The blooper reel, the triple X version. You do, trust me.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Knock
I think
Knock.
that was the movie called Lotta Mermaid.
Lotta Mermaid. All right, Knock Knock. You still have a move action if you want it.
Oh, of course. So Knock Knock happily skips over the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then comes right to here, and then it's just looking at the rest of them. It's just,
And I gotta say, I mean, there's no way with the cyber snake that your face is not all bloody right now. Or at least around your mouth has to be just like gore and blood, like bits of flesh and blood.
There's like some small intestine hanging out of Knock Knock's
Oh
mouth.
god! Hey, Knock Knock, you got a little something. You got a little something. Get some red on you.
Have some red on you.
All right, Arizona, you're up.
So I want to make sure I'm in the shot for you.
He's worried about that shot.
You know it.
I move over 6 here, and I'm firing the pistol from the hip as Indiana Jones was wont to do. In a situation like this, and I'm going to fire a shot at each of them.
Nice. Okay, 13 and 13 and 13.
Yeah, should still be minimum.
Yep. All right, roll your damage.
And it is
okay. 4 and 14.
The first one and hit the second one pretty solid.
Yeah, this one I'm going to say is pretty much down, and holding in their intestines. That's what that means. All right, this one took 4 damage, so that's leaves 11. And this is a whole one. All right. All right, cool. I just wanted to keep it moving. This one, that's this one right here, and we're gonna say they're just at this point. I'll give them a 1 move back as it decided to be it's time to go. This one is gonna make a move and try to hit you with the bat. So why don't you evade for the DV, and we'll see where we go.
Who are you talking to?
Arizona.
Sorry.
Yep, this guy right here.
Oh, it just hasn't moved yet on my screen.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really delayed for a lot of stuff.
That's weird. Oh, I can see you rolled your evasion there, Arizona. Good job. All right. So now it's again, unless they get a crit, it's not possible. Nope. All right. Yeah. So you feel the woof of this base. Well, it's not a baseball, but it's a piece of rebar basically that whizzes by your head. You can actually like smell the rust off of it as it whizzes past you. Hugh, you're up.
All right.
And just as a note, we just hit 10 o'clock, so I figure we'll go to the end of this and end abruptly, and that'll leave us with a nice kind of driving back into town scene start of next session.
I think Hugh's going to go to about here, because then hopefully if I miss, I'm not going to shoot Arizona.
Nice. All right. 13 DV.
I guess I could go. Well, it's not going to make any difference. All right. All righty. And technically, I actually have 2 shots because it's only a heavy pistol, but
yeah,
that's okay. Well,
so roll your 2 hits with it.
All right, I will. So there's 18 and 17.
And you make it. Roll 2 damages.
And there's
okay,
damage.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.
So I would say the first one rips into their shoulder, and the second one rips into their neck, and then they just kind of slump down to the side.
Yeah. Cool. So I hope you guys. I mean, I was a little concerned about this, but I hope you guys are also seeing how once we get this down, this will be a pretty streamlined process as opposed to okay, I'm gonna do that, or what do I have to roll for this, and this is gonna be quicker.
Yeah, combat's definitely pretty streamlined.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. I like that. I miss my 1 dice roll as resolution for an entire combat, but you can't have Power by the Apocalypse every day. So yeah, all right. So let's We're basically going to say that last guy is basically going to die on the floor right in front of you. The gal is going to die on the floor right in front of you without really doing anything at this point. And yeah, so that's where we end our session. This was already kind of an interesting thing here. We recovered something. You have something to potentially sell. Now you just have to find a fixer or a buyer or somebody for at least like the Silverhand
and I think
hologram.
now that we sort of got our feet wet a little bit, we can, talk about getting a bigger score, something that might require a little bit more legwork and planning.
Right. Or things or things might just pop in your lap. We'll see how that goes.
Right. And it's not necessarily, a reclamation, thing either. It could be anyone's.
Right. And again, I just want to point out there's going to be side stuff. Like someone's going to come to you for help. You're going to be in the middle of a firefight for no freaking reason.
He wants to chase down the story.
Yeah, gotta chase the story.
I mean, like a real story, like something he thinks is, worthy of his journalism.
Right, totally. All right, so again, we hit the mark. I don't want to keep you guys too late. I respect your time. So yeah, that was session 1. So of actual play, we did the session 0 a couple weeks ago now with Thanksgiving. Here's session 1 and 9 to go. So I'm very interested to see what happens. I think you guys have kind of come together already. So that's good. I see you working together. You're making a lot of sense with each other already. That's pretty cool. Knock Knock isn't quite as psychotic as we were fearing. He's controllable psychotic.
He's
one here.
He's the controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. All right, so let's wrap it up. Like I said, I want to get you guys to whatever it is you do. I respect your time. So I am Scott's Case Files, and it's time to say goodbye to the Cyberpunk gang. So here we got Aaron.
Good night, everybody.
Aaron. We got Steve.
Good night.
We have Jason.
Sleep well, all you fabulous people.
And Brian.
Good night, everyone. And of course, you can find me on YouTube on Horror and Dubs, and then with my Twitter. Please hit me up on Twitter because I'm doing character portraits for any kind of tabletop game, and I'm open to commissions, but for right now, I'm just enjoying making art for people.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all really good stuff. We're seeing it on the Discord. This is again, especially the latest one. I think with the I can't quite make out what it is, a falcon or something, some kind of royal bird.
It's a vulture. It's an evil dark vulture lord.
But it's beautiful, and yeah, if you're looking for art, someone to draw, sketch something for you, to create something for you, definitely check out Brian's stuff. It's awesome. So I am Scott's Case Files. If you're watching on Twitch, all my information is in the about below. You can follow me, and I'm now an affiliate, so you can subscribe to me if you like. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, all those same social media links are below, and subscribe and hit the little bell to be alerted when I post new stuff, which is every week. With each actual play and etc. So thank you again to my wonderful players who are awesome, and again it's coming together already. I like what I see. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I have a lot of options here, and so do you. It's been a while since I've run a more open world campaign, so this is gonna be a challenge for me, and I hope it's something different for you guys who've been with me for a while, where it's been very more episodic, on the rails, if you will. So anyway, get the hell out of here. Do what it is you do. Be good to each other. Go forth and do no harm. And unlike Knock Knock, and we will see you next time. So thank you all for watching. Bye for now.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.